Hello, everybody. I do apologise for being 8 minutes late. It is on me. I've literally just walked in the door and set all this up at the last minute. If you could all confirm that the sound and everything's okay, as it was a bit of a rush job. But yeah, I think we're good. Hello, everyone. Hello, Damian. How are you?
I'm good, Steve. How are you? You sound flustered.
I'm flustered, mate. I'm flustered. So we've got a lot in.
Is
There's a
it?
lot of people in. There's 36 people in waiting.
I
That's
can see
crazy.
there were 33 waiting. Waiting for those 8 minutes,
That's
and
insane.
now there are two watching
Yeah.
because I think you lost them. I think you lost them there. I would
Oh,
like to. I want to stand up for my Battle Street brother here and show some solidarity and confirm it was Steve's fault. It was Steve's fault. I've been
it was
here.
it was my
I've been
fault.
waiting.
I've had a
Sound
shot
is
or two.
okay. Sounds good to me. The sounds is good. All is okay.
Good stuff.
Boom, boom, boom. There we go. We are cooking with petrol.
Yes.
Welcome to Battle Streets of Middle Earth, episode 18.
18 already.
Can you Adam and Eve it?
18 already.
If you remember, last week we were very excited when we had issue 17 on episode 17, and we were very, very happy that we'd finally, for the first time ever, synchronized the issue numbers with the episode numbers. So we decided to celebrate by ruining it again. And as promised, this is not issue 18. What is this, Steve?
This is issue naught, if you like, but it is Keeper of the Dungeons week, which is
Keeper
spectacular.
Fest.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man.
This is to celebrate the fantastic arrival of the new Keeper of the Dungeons, or as some of you may know him, Goyam, who has arrived, and we have him in our hands. This fantastic new pack from Forge World, the first Middle Earth release in 5 months, and so we couldn't not celebrate this momentous day by theming an episode around the Keeper. So, if you're new to Battle Streams in Middle Earth, this is our fortnightly live stream where myself and Steve kind of normally we will take a wander through the DXDini partwork, Battle Games in Middle Earth, and we take one issue every episode, and we have a look through it, and these were published in the early 2000s. We have a look at how things were, and what we try and do is we try and paint the models that came with the magazine. And the hope is that allows you to clear your backlog out. That's what everything we're trying to do on Battle Streams Middle Earth is, to help people clear their backlog and reduce their unpainted pile. So the idea is that you dig out those, whatever they be, Moria goblins or old Celeborn sculpt or whatever it is, and you get some paint on them. So every week we look at one issue and we paint the models that came with it, but not this week. In our 18 episode history, we have had a few specials. I think this is our third special, I think. And every now and again something happens that we want to change it, and this week we are doing just that, and we are doing the Keeper of the Dungeon, which I'm very, very excited about. So this week is Keeper themed. We will be discussing all things Keeper of the Dungeons. This guy has had a spectacularly interesting history, both in terms of the profile for SBG and the design in the film, and I'm sure we'll touch on that. But not only that, he's our first model ever on Battle Streams Middle Earth from the Hobbit range.
He is.
So this is a one-off exciting chance for us to descend into Hobbit madness tonight. So I think we have no plan for it or whatever, but steer the conversation how you wish, anything Hobbit related, and we'd love to dive into some of that.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
How do they get involved, Steve?
Just bear me 1 second. I am just doing more of this really boring side. So, yes, anyone who wants to get involved, have you mentioned about the whip thread?
No.
So, on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook group, we do have a work in progress thread. You'll see it. There is also a link to this stream, but you don't need that because you're already here. But if you post your whips in there of what you're working on, if it pans out that you are actually working on a Keeper of the Dungeons, new or old, are we saying just Keeper? Is it just Keeper tonight?
Yeah, just Keepers.
Yeah, just Keeper. If you are working on a Keeper, you will be entered into a draw. What will they win, Damien?
Well, they will win. There's a slight caveat on this. They'll be winning for the first time ever a Battle Streams of Middle Earth dice.
Woo!
Absolutely. We have officially run out of Tim McKnight's fantastic counters. The man is a hero amongst men for us helping us out for the last 6 months.
Yeah, he is.
We have run out of them, and we have now, as of 2 weeks ago, we've launched a Patreon, and you'll know this if you watched last week, and we said that for 2 weeks essentially we were going to push it hard, or 2 sessions we were going to push it hard, and then we'd let it kind of potter away in the background. And so we thought it would be a good opening gambit to give you a little update on that. And the update is essentially, thank you so much. We are blown away by what has happened over the last 2 weeks. We're not going to go into kind of details with amounts and stuff, but I mean it's all public anyway.
Yeah.
But we, as of going on to this, we had some really sexy round numbers. The going is this: we had 40 patrons, which is kind of crazy.
It's a bit mental.
And I think if you asked us, we'd say that our average live viewership was about 40, which kind of implies everyone who watches it has pledged now. It obviously doesn't work like that because people, more people watch on some weeks and don't watch on other weeks and all that. But it's absolutely blown us away. So thank you so much for that.
We thought we'd get about 10, right? We were thinking about 10 people, and that would would tide us over. We're now in the position that we can do some really cool stuff, really cool stuff. So yeah, thank you so much. It was I think I can speak for both of us. It did blow us away. It blew us away. It was crazy. It's crazy. So thank you guys.
So that was amazing. And the first kind of next level pledge we have almost is to get dice. For anyone who was at the second level would get dice, and we now know quite comfortably that we're going to be able to order them quite quickly. So anyone who pledges at a certain level gets a pack of 8 dice, and they'll be being sent out it still might take us a while to actually get them and get them delivered and all that. But what we're then going to be doing is every week we'll be giving away one of those dice for free to anyone, not just to a patron, to anyone on the stream, just as we have been doing for the last 6 months with the priority tokens. We'll be giving away a unique Battle Streams in Middle-earth dice, and that'll be our little kind of free weekly giveaway. All the priority tokens have now been dispatched. They've all gone out to the world, so hopefully everyone's got those. So all it'll mean is we're going to start this, and we'll create our little backlog from now, and then as and when the dice arrive, I might have 3 to send out kind of retrospectively, but we're going to start making a note of that now. So that was amazing. Thank you all so much. And we've also, as we discussed last week, we're going to be moving over to the Battle Streams in Middle-earth YouTube channel.
Yes, we are.
In a couple of streams' time. And that went really well, and we've now got 100 subscribers. We've got exactly 100 subscribers.
Bang on 100.
Yeah.
Bang
so thank you all so much. So if you are watching this stream and you knew nothing about it, go and search Battle Streams Middle-earth. It should. And then we're going to have a look at the channel. Yeah, it does do it. So the patrons there, if you were to look just below in the description of this, the patron link is there, but the YouTube channel isn't there. But if you just search for Battle Streams in Middle-earth in YouTube, you should be able to find that. So please pop over there and give that channel a like. That would be absolutely awesome.
Yes.
And help us. As I said, we will be moving over there in a couple of streams time. So that's that. And then the other thing linked to the patron is for anyone who missed it last week, I want to be absolutely clear, there's no obligation to it. Battle Streams Middle-earth is going to stay like this, stay completely free to watch if you wish. The patron is just an option there for you to go and support us and hopefully get some cool merch and stuff. But we are going to be doing some incentives, and we gave away the Keeper of the Dungeons.
Ooh.
We gave away the Keeper of Dungeons as our first week. Anyone who signed up to the Patreon got into a draw, and we drew it last Sunday, I think it was. And Julian Nicklows won it. Who's Julian Y2K? So Julian,
he's in tonight. I've seen him pop up in the chat,
and I'm thrilled to say it worked. We posted him his keeper. He got his keeper in time, and he's prime. So I'm really excited that he was in the UK, and it allowed this idea to happen. So that's super cool. So someone who signed up to the Patreon now has the keeper ready for Keeper Week. But that's not it. We also said to celebrate Keeper Fest 2020, we're giving this one away.
Oh yes.
Yes. The original sculpt of the Keeper of the Dungeons. Yeah. Beautiful sculpt, now out of production, of course, and we're going to be giving this away tonight. Again,
we'll just
to
keep
one of
giving
our
stuff
patrons.
away. It's crazy. We must be.
We've got these little slips here that I'm cutting up and putting into the pot of destiny. that I'm going to be. All our patrons are going into that, and at 11:30, I've printed out the 40 tonight, but I've got some spare slips. So at 11:30, what I'm going to be doing is going over to the patron and checking if anyone joins up within this stream. So any of the tiers, the cheapest one's 120, including VAT, which is the cheapest we can make it. If you do sign up to that tonight, you'll be in the draw to win this. So you could right now go and sign up for that, pay 120, and be into the draw and possibly walk away with it tonight. So that is open, and we will be closing it at 11:30 tonight.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. So that's our kind of little patron stuff done. And the last thing is that as soon as you become a patron, you join our Facebook community, our little Facebook
which
chat,
is pretty awesome.
Is amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
But already, again, me and Steve were expecting about 10 people in it. We've now got 40. And do you wanna chat about that?
Yeah, well, it's one of them. Like I say, we didn't expect the amount of people that we ended up with, and that chat group is just constantly busy, and I find, because I've had a crazy week, as I've had the last few weeks, crazy week. I find that when I get in from work sometimes, just scrolling through the chat and reading it, even though most of it's got nothing to do with me, it's nice to relax just to see people chatting about hobby and chatting about some silliness and showing what they're painting, and it's great. I love it. We did a similar thing over at Top Table. It's exactly the same. It's nice to have that vibe of people that watch the show regular. They're chatting, they're getting to know each other, which is nice. And it also means that when it comes to these live streams, everyone is very familiar with each other, and it feels like a little family. And that's what we intended. It's great.
Continued. That's been the really cool thing. It's felt that, it's not quite the same, but since the last 2 weeks, it's almost like every day you're having a little bit of the same kind of chatter and stuff. So it's so there's been loads of posts on there about the keeper this week, I think.
Yeah.
So people have been getting and preparing them. So that's super cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. We're not gonna dwell on this, but anyone who does sign up to the Patreon before the end of the night, before 11:30, will be entered into this draw as well. And most importantly, just thank you so much to everyone who got on board and supported what we did. It's absolutely awesome, and you have blown us away and allowed us to continue doing what we're doing here, and it's awesome. And there will be more giveaways, as we hinted at in the draw. We've ordered 2 AMers, so fear not. You're enabling us to do patron giveaways to hopefully look after those people who are supporting us.
So you are all enablers.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. So there we go. So that's our little blurb.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump in the chat, because we're already sort of like 12 minutes in, aren't we? Do you want to see?
Yeah, I'll jump in. What I'll do, I'll fly through. If it's all just a hello, good evening, guys, I'll just fly through the names of people that's in. If anything interesting or relevant to the stream is being put down, then I'll pull it out. But it's already quite busy, and what I don't want to do is get stuck just reading comments all night. I would like to get involved in the actual theme of the stream, so I'll run through. So we have Mr. Benjamin Bowles in. How are you doing, Ben? It's an absolute pleasure to have you. It's been too long, mate. Tanya T's in. How are you doing, Tanya? Zafai Engel's in. Joe Holzman's in. Dan Collister's in. Aaron Garner's in. Stu's in. Green Tree's in. They're all saying hello to each other. Frederick's in. Gaz Ball is in. How you doing, Gaz? Ronald Valle's in. He says, good evening from sunny Surf City, California. You lucky so-and-so. The weather here is terrible.
I love it when international people tune in. It's awesome.
Bruno's in. Julian's in, obviously. Paplock's in. Gary Cassar's in. Adam Davis. He says, evening, guys. Ready for some absolute nonsense. That's exactly what you're going to get here, my friend.
I'm offended. I've lost someone on the floor.
Paplock's lost his marbles because he's saying, what are you talking
about?
You
wouldn't believe it. Who I dropped on the floor and nearly didn't make it into the draw.
Who? Ooh.
It's nearly guaranteed he couldn't win 2 in a row. I nearly didn't put Julian in.
Ofcom would have got involved there.
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine how much they'll get involved if he wins again.
I know. Paplock says, what are you talking about? Steve and Damian are 2 completely reasonable and smart old men. Been called some things in my time.
Whoa. I am not
smart. Paul Merritt's in.
Hey, Paul.
Damian O'Byrne's in.
That guy's all right. He knows what's up.
Johnny Russell's in. Stephen Sparks, Tim McKnight, good afternoon or evening if you're here in the UK.
Hey, Tim McKnight. He's the real enabler.
Yeah. Everybody is saying hi. Mick Large is in. How you doing, Mick?
Hey, Mick.
He said this was the longest 8 minutes of his life. You've seen nothing, my friend. The next 3 hours are going to be even longer.
Emma said something like that on our wedding
night. Frederick's saying hashtag it was Steve's fault. That's Damian in a nutshell. So that should be his catchphrase. Larry says, this week, can we look back at the gold issue of SBG? It's not a bad shout.
Whatever is SVG, I can't imagine what that is. You can certainly have a look at his profile.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Papalot says, a part of me wants a long break from new releases just for Smile to have an alternative spread wing or something posed. That way Damien and Steve would have to make a special stream about him. We'll have to have a stream about the old Smile first, won't we? Bushball, Larry,
Imagine that, everyone not working on Smile.
Michael Haskell's in. How you doing, Michael? Joe Kelly's in. James Miniature Space is in. I'm getting there. Max Malice is in. Luke Churches is in. Not able to stay and watch this evening, but glad you're getting the Patreon rolling and look forward, to seeing where it goes. Thank you, man.
Thank you. So are we.
Mr. Stephen Bonar's in. Reese is in. And Dale4687 is in. He says, evening, guys. And that is, I'm caught up to the chat, which is fantastic. Do keep it coming, guys. It was nice just to get through them all then and say hello to everyone. So I think, Damien, how has your week been? Have you got any hobby in this week?
We can do. Should we? I'm not shutting you down here, but should we not open the chat up to snacks and drinks first?
We should, because I totally forgot about it, and I'm going to let you start.
You're doing it wrong, but I just wanted to, just in case.
I'm still a touch flustered. I'm still a touch flustered. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in. I do have my obligatory alcoholic beverage of choice.
I'm very jealous.
Which is icy cold. I'm going to pop that open and say, happy Battle Streams, happy Friday, everyone. Hope you're all well. Thank you all so much for supporting us. You guys are absolutely awesome. Tastes like victory.
Yeah.
So I've got that on the go. Emma is in, so there may be delivery throughout the night. We'll have to wait and see. But then, as I hinted to our in our Patreon chat earlier, and I've just put a post up. I went past the corner shop today, and it always seems to be the same one. It's one in Teddington. I got MOT today. Strolled past, and I was like, "It's a Battle Streams day," and I'm walking past the shop, which is still quite rare. Yep. It's not as mad as it was 4 months ago. But it's still quite rare, I think, that you're out and about. And I was like, "It's a special stream. Yeah, I'm gonna go mad.
Do it.
I was like, I'm gonna break boundaries here." So, for the first time ever on Battle Streams Middle Earth, Dr. Pepper.
What could possibly go wrong?
So misunderstood. I used to love Dr. Pepper.
I mean, it's cherry Coke, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. But I don't think I've had one in, honestly, 10 years. It's been a long time. I was like, let's go nuts. Yeah. But that's not enough. You know me, I don't play by society's rules.
No.
Kit Kat Chunky.
Oh.
Cookie dough,
yeah. I mean, only bettered by peanut butter.
Have you had this?
Yeah.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been around a while, that.
Our boy's been cooking in the fridge all day.
Ooh. Teeth breaker, that. Salted caramel twist. Not been there.
Caramel twist.
Yeah, I've not been there.
So I basically just went for new flavours of chocolate that I haven't got. Slight caveat. I showed that to Emma. Amounts to one chocolate bar, right? So yeah, I've gone. I mean, it's Keeper Week, right? It's Keeper Fest. Yeah. There's no issue of Battle Games in Middle Earth to keep us in check. All bets are off. Yeah. I've gone wild, Stephen.
Gone mental. Gone mental.
Yeah.
So I took a leaf out of your book.
Look out for me.
It's what?
Glad to hear it. I said, just watch out for me because I'm crazy, man.
I seen your post, Damian, and I thought.
Your response was, "Sweet Jesus."
I seen your post and I thought, I can't go with the usual white line bar this week. You know, it's getting old. It's still good. It's an old favourite. It's getting old, but I thought I'll switch it up. Now I've gone for something that's not as rogue as yours. I mean, you went like the wrong way down the tracks with that. But what I done, I've gone double. I've got 2 flavours.
Oh, nice.
So the first one is the magical Galaxy Ripple.
Oh, Galaxy Ripple. Never before seen on Battle Streams Middle Earth.
And in my corner shop tonight, on chocolate bars, it was 2 for 1. So I got 2 of those.
You know that means if you bought 5, you'd get 5 free.
I know, it's crazy. I nearly spent all my money.
You would empty the bank account because then you've made twice as much money.
It would feel like you've doubled your money.
Yeah, it would. Absolutely.
So I also couldn't pass this bad boy up.
Oh, good. That's a good choice.
And not only were the ripples on 2 for 1, these were 2.
There you go. That's a good corner shop.
So I could, in fact, be very kind like you are to your good lady and give Anna one of each of those.
Yeah, that won't happen, will it?
But I don't think I will.
Can't see that happening.
And I'm on Coke Zero tonight. No alcoholic beverages for me tonight.
Does this mean you might paint?
No. I might do. I don't know.
I'm painting, man. I'm doing it.
I'll see.
However, you're saying you're not going to give any to Anna. Has she seen them? Does she know about them?
Don't be silly. They're in the secret man cave that women
are
aren't allowed in.
See, that's what I mean. So you're saying that I'm looking after Emma. It's basically because I've been caught, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So can't take too much credit there. So yes, there we go. Do let us know what your treats are. I've seen some pics already. Dan Collister, I think it was perfectly poised at about 8 p.m. with a keeper, a whiskey, and a whisper. And I was like, that is he is living life.
A keeper and a whisker.
Yeah, a keeper and a whisper. Which, as we discussed this week in the chat, they do sound the same.
Oh.
They do rhyme, kind of. So, yeah. How was your anniversary, man? That was last Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. We went out for food. We went out for something to eat. But the restaurant made sure that they were taking all the social distance rules and regulations and everything else seriously, which they were. We got there. We almost had the restaurant to ourselves. By the end of the evening, we did have the restaurant to ourselves. When we got there, there were 2 other couples in there. We got the back end of the restaurant to ourselves. It was really nice. We got 2 free bottles of wine because it was our anniversary. I don't drink wine, so I got very drunk. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Nice food.
11 years, man. Well done.
11 years. Yeah. She's done
Awesome
well.
news.
She's done well. She's done all right.
Yeah. She's punched.
Yeah, she's done all right. Yeah. I told her that.
Yeah.
I said, I could have had anyone. I chose you, my darling.
He's a lucky girl. So there we go. Do you want to tell me about your hobby week, and I'll catch up with see if anyone's putting in their snack choices. Yeah.
So I've actually, even though I've had a terribly busy week, I've actually got a little bit of hobby done. I can't remember what I'd done and what I'd not done last time, but I finished Grishnak. So he is. I don't know how well it's going to show because I've not got my other cam to do close-ups. But he's there. Finished him.
Cool.
So he's looking quite cool. I've done a little bit more and done the basing on Snaga. Snaga and Grishnak are just beautiful models. Finished Gorbag, which I started a long time ago, just as a completionist type thing. And then I streamed. I did an impromptu stream.
You did?
On what night was it? Right, I don't know what night it was.
Saturday night, I think maybe.
Was that a week ago already? Jesus.
I think so.
And I was supposed to paint these 2 folks because I was getting very jealous of seeing your Hobbits. They were looking beautiful, and I thought I want to paint mine.
Thanks, man.
So
that Tolman cotton's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful model. So
I got them built, I got them based, and I got them primed. And that was it. I started talking dinner, and that was it. It was game over. No painting.
Absolutely not.
But no, that was a lot of fun. And then what else have I done this week? I've been at the studio a little bit. I've been working loads. Filmed a battle report today. First battle report in about 5 months, which was a lot of fun. It was first battle report, stroke first game. that I've had. So I really enjoyed that. Yeah, that's it. I've been doing a lot of stuff, doing a lot of other stuff. What about you? Apart from that, hobby wise, you've been all right. You've been getting stuff done.
Yeah, good. So I've been at my parents. I'm also back here, back in the man cave tonight.
Yeah.
But we're actually only back for a few days, and then me and Charlotte are going back to my parents again.
Yeah.
So we're the whole point of this. I've probably mentioned this, but it was about bubbling up, giving them their grandchild back.
Yeah.
The first time. So we had to come back this weekend because Emma's back to school on Tuesday to work.
Yeah.
But on Monday for that first week, me and Charlotte are then going to go back to my folks essentially for another week. So that's been absolutely awesome. Spending some really quality time with them.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Which has been super, super awesome. Great for Charlotte, great for them with Charlotte, but obviously you have the crippling horror of when it ends, and then you go, right, now we're back to garden parties and not touching each other. For the next hour of your life, which is quite stressing. But no, it's been really good. You got to take the positives. It's been really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really super. Hobby-wise, I too finished Grishnak. I think when it was 2 weeks ago was Grishnak, wasn't he? So I finished Grishnak, got him done. He's in the case, so I haven't got him done. Pretty happy. Didn't enjoy it. I was posting updates about that in our chat as well, and I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed playing Snyder a lot more. Just Grishnak annoyed me for some reason.
I enjoyed him more than I was the other way. I wasn't really looking forward to painting him because I didn't need to paint him.
Yeah.
And I already had the old one painted. But then found myself really enjoying painting him, which is always nice.
I got really annoyed by the fur behind the metal plates. I just didn't like it. Kept either making it too dark, so it just looked blacky brown, or then making it too light, and it just kept annoying me. It was doing my head. But I got him finished anyway. I obviously built this guy. Keeper arrived. What a great day! So I got him ready for tonight.
Yeah.
And then I've been working on my next batch of Hobbits, which is the Hobbit Heroes, so my farmers essentially. So I finished Farmer Maggot's dogs.
Yep.
Which were a cool little project. I've never painted a dog before, so that was interesting trying to figure out what to do there. I also painted Gaffer Gamgee's 3 flower pots.
Yeah.
They're obviously the priority. When you've got 100 Hobbits to paint, and you're 15 down, paint the flower pots.
Yeah, if you don't get them flower pots painted, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. I got them done, and now I'm working on my 3 kind of farmers or gardeners or workmen or whatever you might call them, which is Gaffer Gamgee, Tolman Cotton, and Farmer Maggot. That's what I've been painting away, and I have stalled a bit.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, in the last sort of week, me, my wife, and my mum all watched. We all watched Line of Duty from the start.
All right.
Which is just so good. And we've seen it all before, but for some reason we just started watching the entire thing again, and we just finished season 4. So we got 5 to get through next week. But have you seen it? Do you watch it?
Yeah. It's one of them.
So good.
Yeah, me and Anna. There's not many things that we watch because we've got quite different tastes. But that's one of them. One of them. The other thing was 13 Reasons. Did you watch that?
No.
On Netflix? That's quite good. Yeah, that's quite good. I highly recommend it. It's good.
Yeah, I was kind of just blown away by how good it was second time round, because you forget enough that it's still just as gripping, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's been me, and then back, and I'm back. What have I got? Where are we? Friday evening. So I've got Saturday and Sunday evening. So I've got this kind of naive hope of finishing this guy while I'm here, like in another 2 evenings time, like before I go back, which is probably a bit of a push in all honesty, but I'll give it a go.
Give it a go, lad.
Those are our hobby weeks. Do you want me to jump into the chat?
Yeah, because I'm going to try and find out what colour this guy is.
All right. He's Rakarth flesh all day long, man. So I'm gonna give me brush a cheeky wash, and then jump in. Let us know what you are working on. I think it's fairly obvious, but myself and Steve are both working on the Keeper. And remember, if you want to be in the chance with winning one of our custom Battle Streams with Left Dice, you need to stick a photo of the model you're working on in the chat, in the thread on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook page. As long as you're working on one of the 2 keeper models, you'll be in the draw at the end of the show.
Correct.
So you got to, I think you got to Pat Blog suggesting a Smaug stream, and him being very excited to see us doing that on the stream. Gaz is saying he's working on a 40k commission. Can we forgive him? He says, please forgive me.
I can always forgive Gaz.
I don't think we can. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, apparently not.
He's a bit of a ledge, is Gaz.
He's all right. He's also been very nice to us tonight already. I've just seen.
Oh.
So I think we can forgive him. Michael Haskell, Pims and maple and walnut fudge. That is the classiest entry yet.
That's how the other half live. I'm telling you.
Awesome work, Michael. Joe Achille is in the States because that's where he lives. Bell streams to start the weekend, as the kids say. Woohoo! I'm glad you think so. James Miniature Space is in saying sorry I'm late, and Julian's like, yeah, I think that must be when I found his slip. Larry, are you not?
Is he at it already? Is it?
This is an obscure reference. There's Larry Miller has said, "Are you not filming a video of you putting each name in one at a time?" Do you get that?
Yes.
That's James. That was James, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think he's talking about. If I've got this right, I mean that is incredibly tenuous. But I think there's a video at some point on the GBHL of James doing a live draw, where he filmed all of the entries going into the hat to prove it was legit. And you're like 20 minutes into the video going, I'm happy to trust you. I think that's what that is. But no, we're the pot of destiny is full, and you're just going to have to trust me on it. Frederick Shaw's is a 1 in 40 chance. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Frederick. It's a bit less than that already, which is awesome news. And Pat Block said, us non-patrons, instead of being in the family, are like a bunch of creepy neighbours. Not creepy neighbours. You're more the kind of the neighbours we want to see. You're the happy neighbours that come over. And maybe the patrons are actually the kind of family that we have to invite over at Christmas. So, 6 of one, half dozen the other. And he wants some sugar because it's the neighbour. Max is saying it's a nice way to end the week. Awesome stuff. Luke Church's evening not able to. I feel like you've read that. Have I gone backwards?
What does it say?
Who knows? Even people are still going sides. Frederick Schultz has said, "What should I try first, Whisper or chocolate orange?" We got a load of English chocolate.
Oh, we did, yeah. Oh, I would save the best till last, so I'd go chocolate orange first.
He's got a full chocolate orange though.
Have a couple of pieces of chocolate orange.
Then, half it or something, or quarter it.
Then tuck into the Whisper.
Go onto a Whisper. Yeah. Apparently my volume went down all of a sudden. I probably booped my mic with the web arm. Let's see if that comes up.
It did go down earlier, but I turned you up, so it should be okay now.
Thanks, dude.
Got you, bro.
Green Tree is saying Jaffa Cakes, Rolos, and Coke for me. I hope that's Coca-Cola.
So do I. Otherwise, what's your address, mate?
What a night. I'm sorry about your mint poppets, though. But Jaffa Cakes and Rolos, what a time to be alive. Dan Collister is on Woodford Reserve and Whisper Goals, yeah, as mentioned. Pat Block, Damian's keeper of the flavour. I think that's talking about my chocolate bars, possibly. Tim is on chocolate chip cookie and some milk. Oh, that's so American. A glass of cold milk and chocolate chip cookies. And then he's moving on to the gin when he watches the second half. I like that. Adam G is in tonight saying, evening, we're very well, thank you. Green Tree, I once asked an old girlfriend, let's proofread this. Oh, for God's sake. I once asked an old girlfriend if she wanted a Kit Kat Chunky. She said, yes, but this is a normal Kit Kat. I said, I know, Chunky.
That's why she's an ex, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens. That's what happens. You must look after the fairer sex. He also says this is a true story. People are very amused by that story. Fohammer says, hi guys, how's everyone been keeping?
Very well. Keeping.
RE Dungeons. Very well. Yeah, we've told you how we've been keeping, but hopefully everyone else might jump in. Zarf Angle says, I'm working on a Warhammer High Elf that's as old as Damian's Wood Elves. That is pretty old. We're talking mid-90s there. So is that what? Try and describe that, Zarf Angle. Is that like, is it a metal one or is it the old plastics? Is it the Spearman and Archer plastics from ye olde days from 4th edition? Cool stuff though. Fohammer, my Farncast keeper was surprisingly easy to clean up. Just a bit of messing around with his macy thing, but his main body needed hardly anything. I presume if you're saying Farncast, you mean this dude. This new whatever this GW stuff is, yeah, and it is good. It's definitely improved. I'm looking at the keeper sculpt that one of you will win now, and I don't know how well it'll show up here. Like Steve, I don't actually have my other camera tonight. I have no idea how well that's going to read, to be honest. But it's a really good sculpt. Like I don't think anyone would kind of go, oh, fine. There's not even a lot of cleaning up to do on it, to be honest. There's not all those horrible rivets and all that. It just looks really good. So that's awesome. I can't see any air bubbles, and the mace is all good. You know, all 9 bits of the mace are there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think they've definitely turned a corner on there on GW resin. Pat Block says he's finishing my last 2 Rohirrim in the dozen tonight. Good luck, keep going. Broadsword Wargaming.
Hey man.
Says finally caught one of these. How are you, and what are you guys working on? Keeper.
So Broadsword has his own very successful YouTube channel. So I welcome a fellow YouTuber to the stream.
Absolutely. Good to have you in, sir.
He's been threatening to play Middle Earth for a long time. But But he hasn't.
Do it.
Do it, my friend. Do it.
Frederick Schultz says, Adam G just got in from work, so having fish and chips, following that with painting a non-GW commission model.
Smash in some fish and chips.
Fish and chips we get on board with, but a non-keeper is a risky choice. Frederick Schultz says, chocolate orange tastes decent. Yes, it does. You're very welcome. And Zarf Engel says, is a metal Illyrian Reaver. So the horse is plastic with those big teeth. So are the Illyrian Reavers, were they the original metal Reavers? There were 3 kinds of cavalry files. You had your Dragon Knights, your Silver Helms, and then was it Illyrian Reavers? Was it those ones? And then they made new ones. They made better ones. So are you working on the new one or the really old one or the new one? Which of the 2 are you working on? I never had any of them. I had some Silver Helms, but yeah, I had a small high elf army at the time. Dan Collister says, get some Middle Earth painted, Ollie. And is Broadsword Wargaming Ollie?
Yes.
There we go. He says, hello, I have indeed. The men of Rohan have been staring at me from the pile of shame. Or some news. That's really good. So you're not going to believe it, Steve. I've only gone and caught up.
Jeez.
I'm just going to make sure, but given that Zarfa Engel was not Zarfa Engel, Frederick was confirming that he had started working on chocolate, I reckon we're up to date. So there we go. We are up to date on the chat. So much to say, so much to do. It's just quite exciting. I'm also, alongside my keeper, I've started work on this bad boy.
What is it?
You know what that is?
Oh, is it the base for him?
That is a Matt Davies Forgotten Dungeon base, a Generation Shift base, because my entire Dol Guldur army, as shown in Keeper the First, is on Matt Davies' fabulous bases.
The great base.
So I was suddenly like, when I got to the Keeper, I got all excited. I was like, oh my God, hang on. I need to make sure I've got the right base for him. So I'm working on that alongside Keeper McGee tonight. But yeah, very excited to get stuck into this dude. So there we go. We are up to date. I don't know where we really start with this tonight. We've normally got some form of structure with the magazine, but
yeah. I think because we're never ever, well, I say never ever, we will at some point when new releases come out and we do these obscure topics, but this is the first time in one of these streams we can actually get to talk about, go over, get people's opinions of the Hobbit side of the game. What would be, if you had to choose a favourite model from the Hobbit range, Would it be the one in your hand, or do you have one that springs straight to mind?
Thor.
Thor's your favourite model?
Yeah, bang straight in it. I think he might be my favourite model in the entire range.
Really? That's a bold statement. It's bold.
But I also genuinely, this is what confused me so much about this. I think this guy's in my top 5.
He's very good. I think he's a very good model, and people don't appreciate him as much because he's quite an obscure profile to use.
And I also think people don't tend to like the Hobbit as much, so maybe they don't tend to like the Hobbit models as much.
Yeah.
But what's confused me, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with this guy. That's what I said before. I think this is one of my favourite models in the range. I think this might be better.
Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah.
So does that mean this is one of my favourite models in the range? That's very confusing to me.
I think by proxy it does, my friend.
But yeah, he's awesome. I mean, it's the detail on it's just fabulous. So of course we are talking about the Keeper of the Dungeons. This is the new sculpt that came out from Forge World. When was it? Was it 2 weeks ago now? He was up for pre-order. Must have been. So he started arriving in people's hands about 8 days ago on a Thursday, I believe. And he is a sculpt from the era of. He was made in 2011-ish, 2012, along with all the others, and he was never released. And they dug him out of the archives and released him, just like they did with the Forge World Thorin's Company, with the character series Gwai here. There must be others. What else am I forgetting? What do they? Oh, Bilbo, the new Bilbo.
Yeah.
Have they done any others?
Have you said the Defenders Lake Town?
Oh yeah, of course, Defenders Lake Town. Yeah, absolutely. Those 3. So they're old models that were never released at the time, presumably because the Hobbit range at the time didn't do as well as people were expecting.
Yeah. I mean, there was the alternate Thorin's Company as well, weren't they? They were ages ago, though.
Yeah, I did mention them.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
You got to listen to the stream.
I can't do 2 things at once. I'm painting
it. It's literally the minimum I can ask.
I'm painting here, gee.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to make a judgment call on this, and if it's painting or listening, it's got to be listening. Got to be listening, Steve.
Sorry, what? What was that?
That's the trick, isn't it? That's the thing. It's nothing to do with the drinking. It's not the drinking that stops you. It's the painting that stops you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is that the end now? You know, there's been a Middle Earth team doing this sort of stuff for 4 years. Do you reckon we've got any more treats in the back?
I'd like to think so. It's hard to know, isn't it? No one knows what kind of state the Middle Earth team was in then compared to what it is now.
State they were in. How drunk they were.
But I'd like to think so.
They're obviously ramping up for a big release. You know, if you look at the amount of stuff they got for an unexpected journey, it's absolutely huge. You know, it's an amazing release by any standards, by fantasy or 40k standards. You know, the amount of plastic we got in that first release was just absolutely incredible, and then they just dialed back incredibly quickly. But you do see a pattern emerging of 2 sculpts, right? So everything that's come out is a second sculpt. So Thorin's Company is a second sculpt for the Plastic Company, and then you get a second Hobbit Legolas, a second Hobbit Tario, a second Hobbit Bard, like the Desolation of Smaug ones, not so much about the 5 Armies ones.
Yeah.
And then the same with this guy, that second sculpt, that they maybe feel like they kind of cut their losses a bit and went, well, we've already got that single sculpt.
Yeah.
The range isn't doing as well. Let's not release those alternative poses.
Which is a shame, because we were spoilt rotten with the Lord of the Rings stuff, because we got so many poses of our favourite characters.
Yeah. But they are all old school first film, aren't they? All these bonus releases, when there were going to be 2 films, they would have been in that. So like Brown Coat Bard, Tario and Legolas in their kind of Mirkwood era, the Thorin's Company in their Thorin's Company gear, Gwai here, and then the Keeper of the Dungeons, who of course was, as I'm sure we'll discuss at some point, was planned for that first movie of 2. Yeah. So it does seem almost like they sculpted everything for that first film of 2, and then when they split it into 3, significantly dialed back what they were going to release potentially.
Yeah.
And then just didn't make as much for the 3rd film, in any way, shape, or form.
But what about the people?
You didn't answer yours. What was your?
Oh, you know mine. Mine's a given.
Oh,
That.
Thranduil, of course, because he's
Yeah.
Hobbit ranging.
Yeah. What about everybody else in the chat? What's your favourite Hobbit range model? Is there any obscure ones that we're not thinking of? Because there was some really cool models. Really cool models.
Oh, amazing.
There's some
The range is beautiful.
there's some really random ones. Like I still really like the Survivor Lake Town Captain. I really like that model. I don't know what I couldn't tell you what it is. I just really liked it. I've not seen anything like that in the range before. Sort of that raggedy, basic human man civilian type. I just thought it was really cool when it came out.
He's not one that ever particularly floated my boat after him.
Yeah, I really liked him. Like I said, I couldn't tell you what it was. It's just one of them things, isn't it? Some things you just like and you don't know why you like them. You just like them. But, yeah.
A bit like Tom Harrison.
Yeah. An unfortunate like.
Yeah. I also, I've said it before, I really like Plastic Oin.
Yes.
I think he's amazing.
I like all the plastics for the Thorns Company, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing. They're really great. I like the Master of Lake Town. I think that's a cool sculpt.
That is a cool sculpt.
Well, I think the range is genuinely amazing. I don't think, I know that the issue is with the movies, but the idea that the models that supported them aren't good is, I think that's far more untenable. If I'm honest, like the models are beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just I don't think a lot of people feel quite as attached to them because they're not as fond of the source material.
Yeah.
But not me. I loves me some Hobbit trilogy, and I was super excited when Middle Earth team formed and dived back in with that amazing There and Back Again book.
Yeah.
So by all means, in the chat, if you want to have any discussion topics about the Hobbit, that's all cool. About the Hobbit trilogy, we are a positive stream. We're not gonna rant about it and say how rubbish it is. But by all means, if you want to, have a discussion
it's a
about
safe
anything.
place. This is a safe place.
Yeah, it's a safe place for the Hobbit. We're celebrating the Keeper of the Dungeons tonight. We're not throwing him under the bus. We can take Legolas running up the falling rocks as our scapegoat for the evening, if you like. Anytime anyone says anything bad about the Hobbit, we'll just direct them to Legolas running up the falling rocks.
Congratulations to Mr. Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry.
Yeah,
on, the birth of their baby girl.
And Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Imagine being is it a girl?
Yeah.
Imagine being the child of Legolas. That's not a bad life, is it? Who's your dad? Legolas. Well, you win.
The Elven Prince. You know the Elven Prince?
Yeah. Legolas, right? What, the guy who runs up the falling rocks in Hobbit? No. The guy who does the archery at Amon Hen in Fellowship of the Ring. Oh, yeah, he's cool. Yes, he is cool. You're right. That Legolas. Oh, that Legolas. I thought you meant the Legolas from Hobbit trilogy. I said it was a safe space and then immediately started laying into the Hobbit trilogy, which isn't my style at all. I genuinely love it. Keeper of the Dungeons, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what a ride he's been on.
Yeah. I mean, there was a stage of his life where he didn't know his own identity. He didn't know who he was.
I think that was true for more of his life than not.
Yeah.
It's true from about 2011 to about 2016, really. I'm hesitant to do. I say I'm hesitant because it's the very topic, but huge super secret spoilers. I'm working on my first non-live stream content for the new channel.
Ooh.
I know, right? And the whole idea of the new channel is just going to be embracing what we're doing on here, which is trying to clear your backlog. So it's either having a chat about the kind of content we're going to put on there, and it's not going to be battle reports, at least primarily, because me and Steve are about 200 miles apart, which makes it quite tough to do a battle report. But what we're going to be trying to put on there is content you can listen to.
Yeah.
And I am going to be doing a series of videos. I have no idea how many there will be and how often they will be because it's already taken a lot of time, but where they are hopefully quite entertaining explorations of a single topic. Like spoken word exploration of a single topic. And the first one I'm doing, huge secret spoilers, is about the history and development of Azog, Bolg, Yazneg, and the Keeper of the Dungeons. And it's been all sorts of fun. So I've been trawling the internet to find every tiny little tidbit about this complicated design story. And I will be bringing that to you, hopefully. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm going to say in a month or something by the time it's finished, but in what will hopefully be quite an entertaining format. But we can certainly do some of it tonight, and kind of talk about some of it. So this guy. Why don't we ask you, Steve? Who is this guy? What do you know about this bloke?
What, as in how he began, or do you mean as his character is?
Yeah, how he began and where he came from.
So originally he was Azog, right?
I don't
know. He was the original design for Azog. But the thing that I always found, if you look through, what's the big book called? That it's not close to hands. I can't have a look. The big book.
What, the screen script one?
Yeah, that book.
Massive letter one.
And all the cloak and dagger ones and everything like that.
Yeah.
When you look at all the art, there's a lot of orcs that have similarities to this final design that didn't make the cut. So it looks like this design was bouncing around from quite early on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he started off as Azog, from what I know, and then he got canned, he got binned and brought back because he was too cool. Because he was in the opening scenes at the battle with young Thorin and Dwalin.
As an always.
Yeah. And he was there. And then there was all speculation about who he was supposed to be whilst he was there. Yeah, and he's just gone from pillar to post, really, the poor fella.
He should be most familiar to most of us as Bolg.
Yeah.
Because that's how he was released.
Yes.
The other pose. When he was released in 2012, he was Bolg. And his first profile in the Unexpected Journey book has him as Bolg.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can dive down and find this. I did grab our old books. So when 2012 rolls around, did I, by any chance? I didn't. We get our first look at the Hobbit, an Unexpected Journey. Mitch is going, and there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, with the massive picture. And this is Conan Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones in the first season. And he's marketed as Bolg. And all around that time, he was Bolg. So if you bought the action figures, he was Bolg. And that's what we were all expecting. And then we went and saw An Unexpected Journey. Very excited to see this guy as Bolg. And he wasn't in it.
Nope. Nope.
And we were like, oh, that was surprising. So I remember playing games in 2013 against this guy. And he was Bolg. He was the profile for Bolg. He was 175 points, and he was the guy, ratcheted up his kills, and he was only on foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were all like, oh, well, of course he's going to appear in Dol Guldur, and Dol Guldur was going to be in the first film of 2. So that's why he's in the book. But now it's been put into the second film. So we'll see this guy as Bolg in the second film. And so we're all very excited. We went to see Destination Smaug. Wasn't it?
No.
And there was new Bolg.
Babyface Bolg.
Who's this Bolg? Is this pretender? And there was no sign of this guy. No sign of him whatsoever. And then finally, Battle of Five Armies comes around. And I think I'm right in saying in the theatrical version, there's a shot of him.
Mm.
Is that right? I feel like it's literally him turning around. It's just dreadful in the theatrical version. You just see the close up of his face turn around, and then Galadriel, you don't even see her obliterate him. You just get the wide shot. It's so badly edited, but you get one shot of it.
Yeah.
And then I believe in that one he's credited. Is he credited? I think he might be credited as the Torturer of Dol Guldur still.
Right.
I'm not sure if they call him the Keeper of the Dungeons. And that was his destiny, you know, from being Bolg and he was all on all the posters. He was on like posters. He was going to be the big bad of the Hobbit trilogy, and he gets one shot. And then, thankfully, at least in the extended edition, you do get a little bit of the scene where he tries to cut the ring off Gandalf, and at least makes more sense. And you do see him get obliterated in the extended version. You do see him kind of blow up,
which is very cool.
Which you don't see in the theatrical version. And then he got given that role.
Why do you think they cut the actual him exploding out? Like, it's odd.
I've actually found I don't want to give too many spoilers because I think a pretty spectacular reason for it. Right? Okay. There's an interview with Conan Stevens in 2017 where he says, because he was always meant to be in it, that Peter Jackson agreed to put a shot of him in the film for contractual reasons and for payment and for crediting so that he could appear in it. And it's really interesting because his words are a shot. And as far as I know, in the theatrical editions, I try not to watch the theatrical editions anymore. I think it was just a shot.
Yeah.
Now, quite why they decided to do that and not put him in for a few shots, I don't know. But I think there was an element of he sounds quite positive about it. It wasn't like a lawsuit. He sounds like Peter Jackson did him a favor.
Right.
It's like it's just weird to just have him in it for what. And my crazy idea is that's why he's in the Unexpected Journey prologue. They put him in that because his contract was to appear in an Unexpected Journey.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done it. But I mean, it's very, very complicated, and there's far more that I won't get onto in this because it will be spoilery. But also, it's more to do with Azog, about the designs of Azog and the way that changed. But he was going to be a big bad, and certainly the scene where Gandalf is in Dol Guldur, and faces off against Azog. You know, just before the Necromancer.
Yeah.
That was this dude originally.
Right.
That was him, and they filmed it with him.
Oh, okay.
And what's really, really weird and interesting is that it was filmed really early in production. It was almost straight after like the Bag End stuff. It was about May 2011, I think they were filming that.
Right.
So he was probably, when he was filming these scenes with Gandalf, he was probably still Azog. He wasn't even Bolg. He was like Azog at Dol Guldur. Now, he could have been Bolg, but yeah, there's speculation about that. But yeah, you're absolutely right as well. There's a documentary on the extras of the extended version of Unexpected Journey where you see that it's the one that's called Azog or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you see that absolutely hands down, this design started off as a design for Azog. Conan Stevens was cast as Azog, and this was going to be a design for him. And then they ended up replacing him with Yazneg. They replaced Azog with Yazneg, and this guy became Bolg. And then obviously somewhere down the line he stopped being Bolg.
It's crazy.
And it's a shame.
It's crazy stuff, man. Crazy.
But yeah, there is a lot more to it. That's been quite fun to unpack and unfold. But as I said, I'm hoping to bring that out in a complete video. But that's his kind of history. So this character, that design was Azog to begin with.
Yeah.
And then it absolutely categorically was Bolg. And then it ends up being neither of them. And both of those characters are replaced by CGI variants. And he becomes this literal single shot in the theatrical edition.
He's such a cool. His concept, the way the visuals of it, he's just so. I think he's better than Bolg, the actual Bolg.
Yeah, I'm a big defender of Azog. I like Azog.
Yeah, I like Azog.
And I think Azog's really nicely realised. But I think Bolg looks a bit rubbish and a bit like CGI and a bit unthreatening. But I've always presumed, and there's no point where they clarify this. And I've been through everything so many times, all the commentaries and everything. I presumed that they swapped him when he was Bolg. and you had the white Azog.
Yeah.
I presume they thought this guy looked weird next to a CGI guy.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to make Bulg CGI as well.
Mm.
Which I do kind of get.
Yeah. Maybe. Who knows? I'm gonna. In fact, I'm gonna have a little break from painting for a minute.
For a few weeks.
And I'm gonna eat some chocolate. I'm gonna tuck into my Ripple, and then I'll have some chocolate. Whee!
You gonna dive into the chat while you enjoy that?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah. Where were we up to, my friends?
Wow, hard to say. Let's see if it's stayed on mine somewhere. Wow. It was a broadsword comment, I believe.
Just trying to find...
Yeah, so we've got Pat Block saying turn them towards the wall then. I think he was because he was working on some non-Middle Earth stuff. Frederick Schultz was saying chocolate orange tastes decent. Zarf Engel saying some metal Illyrian Reaver around there. Broadsword Wargame saying, hello Dan, how the devil are you? I'm skiving from editing right now, but I'm planning on them, especially with the new AMR. He's excited about
I see that, yeah. So, Larry says, does anyone know when the new AMR is going to release?
Hey, boom, 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 boom. It's funny because everyone's asking for so long. But now we know it's good fun.
And he says, alas, I couldn't find my Forgotten Dungeon bases.
Is that because he's forgotten about them? Is that Larry Miller hilarity?
I found a brown envelope, like a big padded envelope, like an A4 size. When I was clearing out, it was full of Generation Shift bases that I must have ordered off him for an army at some point and never done it.
What flavour?
Forgotten Dungeon.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
They're great. They're really good.
I've done all my other Dol just because I do all my bases sandy now. It's just easier.
Mm.
There's a lot of work goes into painting them Forgotten Dungeon bases.
Matt Davis was the first person ever to convince me to do an army not sandy. Essentially, it's the first time I'd ever changed my basing method.
Yeah.
It was my Azog's Legion / Dol Guldur army.
I'm just filling my face and then I will carry on. Okay. Adam Davis says, literally tried out my keeper on the same base as you. As you put it up to the screen, Damian.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's some battle stream synchronicity.
Larry says, ironically, I've forgotten where I put them.
Hey, Forgotten Dungeon. It's fine.
Crispin Veteran, great to see you guys. Steve, how much help do the Thunderbird style goggles help? By the way, still on my orcs from the Pelennor Field box set. They help me greatly because I'm blind and can't see.
Is that Crispin Farbrother?
I'm assuming it is. He's speaking to me.
Other Crispins are available, but he's the only one I know.
Yeah, and he's speaking to us in a very familiar fashion. So
that's not Crispin. You are being very, very familiar.
It's good to have you in anyway.
Good to meet you.
But yeah, in the last I think 12 to 18 months, I have become short-sighted. So things that are very close to my face, I can't see for toffee. It was terrible in the restaurant last week. Trying to read the menu, in the moody dark lighting. And I was 2 sheets to the wind, so it was, almost getting there.
Your eyesight then.
Yeah. Dan says, good lad, bring them over to Peterborough. I'm picking up some Isengard, so I'll give those pony boys a good taste of Uruk boot leather. He's talking to Broadsword Gaming. Oh, dropping flaky Ripple all over my t-shirt, and it's melting as I'm wiping it. No. It's not good.
There's a lot of people who would actually pay for that content as
well. Zarf Engel says the Reaver is from 5th edition, so about 1997.
Oh, see, I think that's the second set of them. I think that's when they updated them. They were nice, but the ones of my childhood were the wonkier ones from the earlier thing. Of course, a lot of people still would say those ones are wonky.
Dan Collister says Thranduil, I think, is agreeing with me with the best model.
Mm-hmm.
Tim McKnight says Noctorial. What? I think that's aimed at you, Mr. Oldham.
Oh, about my not being my favourite model. I still don't. I don't think they've ever nailed her.
Many have tried.
The new one's good. The new one's my favourite, but they're still I want the one on the rock. You know, I want the one on the rock.
Mm.
I want the one kneeling on the rock, firing a bow. I keep telling Keith, and he just keeps not making it.
Do you want me to have a word? I'll have a word. Broadsword says, I'll be over in January, COVID permitting. Might take you up on that. Yeah, get some Middle Earth in, lad. Max Mallet says, I love the Grimhammers. Really cool model. Grimhammers are really cool.
They are.
Really cool.
They are, absolutely.
It's like you said before. It was that period of really cool plastics.
Yeah, the Grimhammers are awesome. I've got 24 of them painted, I think. I love them.
Broadsword Games says, is Theoden not the best ever? Because he is the best. And he says, it's great to see some Lord of the Rings still getting more love. We've always been giving it love. Always. Always. Michael Haskell.
If he means from us or if he means from like GW, but
yeah, probably GW.
Yeah, it is.
Michael Haskell says, reference to Hobbit, Dane and the Iron Hills are very cool. Yes, they are. Dane, I think you've mentioned this before in one of the streams. That time when we was at the seminar, and we seen the shots of and he was unfinished.
Yeah, he didn't have hands,
and it was just like it was just one huge inhale of breath from the whole room. It was great. Mr. Adam Garnett says, with the Hobbit range, I'm Army of Thor guys, so my favourite model is either Thor or Thrain. Good man.
Solid choice. See, I think it's interesting you say Thor or Thrain, because for me, that's not even close. Like, Thor's like a billion miles better than Thrain, I think.
I'd agree with that one. Poplock thinks Randall and Elk. Good man. Obviously, you're correct. Fohammer says Smaug for me. It's a great model. I can't compare it to a 28mm.
Yeah. It's almost too easy, isn't it? You could always say, well, of course it's Smaug. You know, of course Smaug is the greatest model in a way. But yeah, it's almost like you should say like, with the exception of Smaug. Steve, I'm going to start with there. Am I going Twix or Kit Kat?
Oh, you've got to try that salted caramel Twix and tell me what it tastes like.
Salted caramel Twix, and I'm going into the Dr Pepper for this. I like to enjoy my pop with my with my chocolate. You ready for the pleasing sound? How was that?
It was good. It was good. Tim McKnight says Thranduil and Elk for me as well. The model is just beautiful. Correct. Very fizzy, that.
God, that tastes like teenage desperation.
I was going to say it tastes like 1997.
God, that takes me back. Oh, please call me. Please call me. Oh. Wow. What when you smell your old aftershave or something?
What was your as a teenage lad? What was your first when you purchased your first own aftershave? What was it?
Polo Sport.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was my fancy one. That's what I wore when I went out. Yeah. Oh. It was the blue bottle.
Yeah, I know it.
Polo was great.
I know it well.
And now the thing is, at my parents' house, I've still got this cabinet which has got basically my toiletries from 20 years ago, and I've still got like my Polo Sport on my shelf, the shower gel, the deodorant, because obviously I'm not there a lot, and when I am there, I rarely use it. And every now and again, I'll run out of deodorant, and I'll spray it, and Emma nearly vomits. She has the same thing where she's like, "You smell like my life 20 years ago." Like, and we didn't know each other. It wasn't me. She knew, like, boys. Why are you smelling like Polo Sport? What about you?
Fahrenheit was my first own purchase. Fahrenheit. And you know what? I can't stand the smell of it now. Yeah.
Well, Polo Sport makes me wretched.
Yeah, and I used to cake myself in it. I thought I was the nuts with Fahrenheit on. If people didn't notice that I smelled like Fahrenheit, I'd have been upset. Salted caramel Twix. Is it thumbs up, thumbs down?
Tastes like a Twix.
Just a normal Twix.
I'm not gonna lie.
We don't want lies, just truth.
No, well, that's what we're here for, isn't it? To review it. I don't think that tastes significantly different to Twix.
Is it a con?
No.
Twix is a win-win, right? Anna eats Twixes in the weirdest way. She eats the caramel. It's terrible.
That's hot. Made to try it with you.
It's terrible, mate. It's terrible. It's a terrible
She eats
thing.
the caramel out from the inside.
She'll eat the caramel off the top and then just have the biscuit. No, not like that. That's just like, if that happened, then we would not be married anymore.
Caramel's inside the chocolate.
Yeah, bites that bit off.
Yeah, that's a bit serial killer.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's weird. she does it with crunches as well. She eats the chocolate off around the outside and then eats the honeycomb.
Great way to get, the best way to eat a crunchy?
It's in the bin.
Yeah, pick it up, throw it in the bin, move on with your life.
Let's get back in here. So Dylan Patel says Stranded on Elk and Radagast on Sleigh are my two favourite. I always forget about Radagast on Sleigh. Radagast on Sleigh is solid, yeah.
Radagast, though, across the board.
Yeah, good. The plastic
Radagast with Sebastian, beautiful. And the plastic one's cool as
well. Adam says, must admit, absolutely love the young Dwalin, Thorin and Balin sculpts. Good sculpts. Paplot says...
Loads.
Yeah, there is. Paplot says, the Hobbit models are often cool on paper, then you get them and see all the bubbles and warping, and, well, there was issues. No one can deny there was issues. It is what it is.
I don't think there are now, though. I mean, if that keeper's anything to go by.
Yeah. Well, they changed it. It changed from being fine cast, didn't it, to being...
Yeah, very quietly. They didn't say what it is. They just removed it being fine cast, and the quality got better.
Yeah. Larry says, might be the Colt Thorin for me.
Good model.
Yeah, it's good.
Forge-weld one.
It's good.
Such a good model. That is... Me and Larry are both big fans of Thorin. I'm going to have to unheadphone. But a few of us, I think David Whittaker was another one, spent a long time over the years hoping for a Thorin with coat. When that guy came out, that is just it's one of the best profiles in the game with Orcris and the coat and his nose and everything. It's brilliant. Not quite as good front on, but the profile options you give it, it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Gorgeous model.
Aaron says, I'd like a bard hero just for theme. Like a bard hero just for theme. What are we talking about?
What's a bard hero?
Bard hero.
Bard is a hero. Colour me confused.
Yeah. Remind us, Aaron, what was that in reference to? Stephen Sparks says, love the Mirkwood stuff, especially anything Legolas. Mirkwood Rangers are awesome.
Good lad.
Yeah.
Legolas boy in the house.
Pablot says, always a tiny richer in Hobbit era models is completely fine. Joe says, love Thraw, Dane and Thranduil's on Elk, but one I really like that doesn't get often mentioned, is fine cast Radagast. He just did, Joe. It's like you read Damian's mind or vice versa. Joe says, Joe Kelly this is, really like the Mirkwood Armoured Elves, dynamic poses and hopefully a template for future Rivendell High Elves unless the Alliance is released someday. Horrible to paint now. Horrible.
They're worse to clean up.
Horrible.
That was I've done 24 of them, and that was the worst models I've ever had to clean up in my life.
You get to the end of painting your Mirkwood Force when it comes out, and you think, thank God I don't have to do that again.
Yeah.
And then they release Mirkwood Cav, and it's just like, oh.
Something about what is it about them? Because the Mirkwood Cavalry have exactly the same issues with cleanup. There must be something about the nature.
So
of their
many
clothes.
little ridges, isn't there? It's like little ridges everywhere.
Remember with them, that was the very worst fine cast. Where with the cloaks, I remember it being I remember saying when I put them up on the group, I said that the Mirkwood Cavalry are the worst model I've ever had to clean up in my life, and it was the rivets on the back was so to the point where you were deciding where your cloak was. You were like carving, guessing between the was the cloak meant to be here? It wasn't meant to be there. It wasn't meant to be there. And you were having to like almost sculpt a cloak out of this chunk of fine cast on the back. And once they were done, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're great models when they're done. Yeah.
But yeah, the cleanup on them was horrific. I'm gonna set an amber panic warning for not being able to find Rakarth flesh. And if I ever can't see my Rakarth flesh, I'll become quite uncomfortable.
Put it to the left at the parents. Ooh, God.
I don't think so, unless I put it in the Rakarth flesh safe.
Yeah, found it. Tanya says, would have liked to have seen more Dale sculpts. The Dale plastics were nice. Really nice.
Plastics are amazing. But yeah, a bit of variety in that range would be nice.
Yeah. Julian says, I don't care much for Hobbit movies, but the range has some awesome models. Fair one. Larry says, Thor's good, but Thorin Oakenshield, King Under the Mountain is a similar model, but more Thorin-y.
More Thorin-y than Thor, yeah.
Mm.
I would, however, argue that Thor is more Thory.
Thory. Yeah. Ronald says, I don't want any Hobbit range models yet, but my brother collects Erebor, and I really love those Grimhammers.
Yeah, they're great.
The Grimhammers are cool. Dan says, Ironhill's Chariot, very cool model. Pig to build and paint. Azog's Legion Trolls. I think the Hobbit range stomps all over the Lord of the Rings stuff. Well, they had more modern ways of sculpting and manufacturing, I suppose.
I don't think they get the credit though. I'm not sure it does. For me, I'm not sure it stomps all over it, but I think it's as good, at least as good. And I think people often don't say it is. You know.
Yeah. I think it's that stigma, that weird stigma about Hobbit. Just anything that says the Hobbit in it, people go, oh. Stu says Smaug or Gundabad Troll. Joe Holzman says, oh, and Forge World, Azog and Thorin, very good shouts.
Yeah, they're great. Keith's Gundabad monsters are spectacular.
Yeah.
The ogres and the trolls are just next level.
Yeah, agree.
They're a lot of fun to paint as well.
Yeah. Joe Holzman says, I've done that one. Crispin says Yazneg is a great model and fun to play with. The Hunter Orcs were cool models. Hunter Orc, the heroes, they're really nice sculpts, and they were all fan casts and they were cool.
Yeah, I've done Fimbul and Yazneg. I haven't done any Hunter Orcs, but yeah, Yazneg's a cool model.
Paplot says Legolas running up the rocks on Thrain's Wilhelm's Scream death scene are both up there.
Is that for his highlights of the Hobbit trilogy too? Cool. Yeah, I'm all up for a Wilhelm Scream, but you don't give it to a main character. Disgusting behaviour.
Adam G. Legolas playing live action Super Mario. Yep.
Yeah. Classic blocks.
Paplot. Damian interviewing Peter Jackson about Azog stroke ball keeper. Stroke keeper is incoming. That'd be cool. Do it, David. Just do it. Just ring him.
Do you know what the question I actually want to know that there's never been answered in a single commentary or anything? It's the fact that in the Desolation Smaug trailers, you see Azog jumping up on the wall in the barrel chase. Do you remember that shot?
Yeah.
He jumps up and goes like that. So at that point, which is halfway through 2013, Azog is at the barrel chase.
Yeah.
And you can see that in the original Games Workshop scenarios for the barrels out of Bond because Azog's there.
Yeah.
And at some point, literally the second half of 2013, they send him back to Dol Guldur and they put Bolg there instead, and they never mention it. They never mention it in any documentary about why that change got made. That's what I'd ask him if I could.
Yeah.
That would be my question for him.
Good one. It's a good one.
Thanks.
Ronald says, I love design stories and behind the scenes lore. Those new videos sound really great, Damien. Yeah, they do sound cool.
Thanks.
Larry,
a lot of work already, but I think hopefully if people enjoy it,
be worth it. Larry says, interesting thought. An argument can be made for people using the old keeper as Bolg, as he was sold as Bolg, and in the old book as Bolg. But what about people using the new keeper as Bolg?
Because he's never been sold as Bolg. Yeah. But there was a lot of that in that era of like 20 when the Bolg model was released, the one that looks like the movie. A lot of people were saying, "Can I still use him as Bolg?"
Yeah.
Because remember this guy? What did he get repackaged as? Remember?
Gundabad. What was it? Was it Gundabad captain or champion or something?
Oh, better than a captain.
Lieutenant.
Better than a lieutenant.
General.
Gundabad Orc General. He was packaged as.
Staff sergeant. Dishwasher.
When that was like peeler. I think that was in November when they were preparing for the launch of the DOS range and they were going to launch their new Bolg. He became a Gundabad Orc General, which was a model we never had a profile for.
Yeah.
Suddenly you had this weird thing where you had a model available to people, but suddenly, what was it? I think
had no place.
Yeah. He most commonly then got used as a Gundabad Orc captain.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Hajinta Sings, how you doing, pal? It says at GBHL podcast, hey guys, hope you are good. We are good. I hope you're well, pal. Julian says, all I know, he's a really big, or he is a big boy.
Very big boy.
Have you got the old one built to hand? What's your thoughts on the size? I think I think the new one is taller. If they were both stood up straight, I think.
Ask me if I've got him to hand.
Yeah, built though.
The old one.
Built.
The one I've held up like a lot.
Oh, have you held him up? I wasn't watching, mate. Was I? I don't watch you.
I mean, he was there seconds ago. Seconds ago. This dude, yeah.
Have you seen my screen? Have you seen what's on my screen right now? That dude. I think he's bigger.
I think it's just the legs being a bit splayed.
Nah. Looking from the waist up, he's definitely bigger.
He might be. I mean, he might be a fraction. He's not. I don't think he's noticeably.
He's hulking above him. Fohammer says Dwalin fights him at the Battle of Azanul Bizarre in the extended version.
I don't think he does. I think he fights an orc wearing his costume. I know it's a subtle thing, but I don't think that is meant to be the Keeper of Dungeons. I think at that point he's not in the films.
Yeah.
And they
doesn't Dwalin? Isn't there? It looks like there's a killing blow to that orc.
Yeah, there's a bit. It very much looks like he kills him, and he's just an orc who dies. And at that point, as far as I can follow the timeline, he's not in the trilogy.
Yeah.
And so they put him in there, I think, to credit Conan Stevens, so you can say that he's on the screen.
Yeah.
And also because he's a cool design. Because there were loads of theories after the first film that because he died there, that was Bolg dying, and the Necromancer was going to bring him back to life. I remember all that nonsense going on. That he was going to be a reanimated orc, because we knew he was alive because of that promo photo. We knew he was going to be in the movie, and he was going to turn up at Tol Guldur. We knew that. They've been so clear about it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people were like, well, he can't be dying there. He must be almost dead or something.
Yeah. Joe Holzman says, not sure about the credits, but in the Wetter books, he's called Torturer of Dol Guldur.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And that's what they call their statue of him. Yes, they do.
Yep.
Oh, just jumped. Here we go.
Sounded genuinely upset. oh.
Foreman says, oh, you may have said that already. Yes. Hajinda says, at the podcast, a lot of designs changed. It's the same with Smaug. He has 4 legs instead of 2 in the first movie. Yes, he does. Nice. And when you see it, it freaks me out. Larry Miller says, interesting other Bolg related note. For some reason, Lego never did the other version of Bolg.
Yeah, well, they didn't do either, did they? There's no Lego this guy. But I think that's because Lego pulled the plug properly. They completely pulled the plug. I don't think they did anything new after like their, that's why Beorn appears in the Lego Dol Guldur sets and stuff. That everything they made looks very much kind of first draft.
Adam Garnett says there's the added element of studio interference and change of directors to add also.
This is all post Guillermo though. This is all like Conan Stevens was cast by Peter Jackson as Azog.
Yeah,
absolutely, definitely, and it all happens after that.
Excuse me, Frederick. He's tried a whisper.
Oh, it's happening.
He says, "Are you ready for it?" He said it's nice.
Well,
he said it's nice. Well, welcome on board, Frederick. Welcome on board, my friend.
Welcome to the dream team.
Dan says all my models are on resin bases from various companies for different games I play. I couldn't imagine going back to sand. I used to find it such a pain. Dead easy. I use super glue now. Done.
Very hard to walk on when it's hot.
Done. Well, mainly chinchilla dust, but let's not open that can of worms.
Oh God. Don't take me back to chinchilla. Okay.
Crispin says there is only one Crispin. Of course there is.
Oh, brother,
of course there is.
Good to see you, man.
I can remember the very first time I met Crispin and played him, and he had the Great Beast of Gorgoroth, and I played him with my my old school Minas Tirith, led by Faramir, maxed out list. That was the first time I met him. It was a great game, Crispin. Great game.
I remember. That's really weird you mentioned that, because with that army, because I think the first time I met him might have been the same day. or same event, because I remember meeting him for the first time. We were like, we've never met or whatever. How you doing? He was like, yeah, this is my first event. I was like, oh, that's really cool. He was like, yeah, it's been a bit soured. I was like, well, I've just played this like wretched guy with a Minas Tirith army. I was like, really? I don't know who that would be. He's like, yeah, it was just balls to the wall power game, and he wasn't very nice. It was awful. So I was like, oh, fair enough.
So that was
I'm
obviously
not
a
saying
different
they're
game.
related,
That was
but they
obviously a
are
different
both
game because we
facts.
had a great game. We had a great game.
I've had some great games against Crispin.
Yeah, it's good.
There was I might be misremembering this, but we played at Throne of Skulls one year, and we had some sort of gentleman's agreement where he had all mounted Riders Rohan, and I had Gundabad monsters, and so he was terrified of me hurling, and he could obviously just shoot me to death. And I think I said to him, I think I promised him, I was like, if you charge me, if you scream death and charge me, I won't hurl you. I promise. And so and he did, and he charged fully into me, and I had like 2 trolls, Stumpy, and 2 ogres, and like a line of Riders of Rohan, like that. And it was the old days, when you could just hunt that one down. And I was like, no, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna strike. And we had a really great game, but it was like, one of those moments where I was like, I could win this and lose everyone. I could lose Eddie.
I could win this game and never attend a tournament again.
But no, it was amazing. It was great fun. It was something like that. I was like, please don't stand 8 inches away and shoot me to death. He was like, please don't hurl me. I accept your terms. It's good fun. I think he one-turned Stumpy. I have a memory of him like charging in like 2 Riders of Rohan into one of my Gundabad trolls, doing a wound with a throne spear, and then doing like 3 wounds on 4 attacks, and just like removing this Gundabad troll. Awful.
How dare you? How dare you? Paplot says to Dan, are you actually Anakin Skywalker? I think that's a reference to the sand is a pain. Rich Z, hey folks, new to Middle Earth SPG. Love your content. Currently painting up some Moria goblins. Hopefully get a game with them once the madness resides. Yeah, hopefully, Rich. And it is an absolute pleasure to have you on board, my mate. Let us know where you're from.
As well. And if you're interested in Middle Earth SPG, some of the Middle Earth SPG channels actually talk about it.
Yeah.
As well. Which, if you like this, imagine how much you like that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, well, let us know where you're from, Rich. It's good to have you, man. Dan says, alas not, I wouldn't do well in the desert. Yeah, too much sand. Pavlot says, yeah, doing wells in the desert is quite hard, I've heard. That one was bad, so I'm sorry.
Do you know, Steve, do you know why you can never go hungry in the desert?
Why would you never go hungry in the desert?
Because of the sand which is there. Because of the sand which is there.
I don't get it.
God, hang on, let me check. There's 46 people judging you right now. Because of the sand which is there. Because of the sand.
For God's sake.
There. Sandwiches.
I'm thinking, do you know what? In my head, I'm thinking, is there like some weird insects called sandwich?
No, it's just a sandwich.
That's
an old joke.
It's just a really poor Southern joke.
That's really. I thought that was a sort of.
It's the way you said it. If you'd have said because of the sandwiches, I'd have got it. But you went because of the sand, which is there.
I don't blame delivery.
There was like 10 minutes. Adam G says, can't open in ASMR. Didn't expect that in this stream. Well,
ASMR segment. Why are we on ASMR tonight?
Because you opened your can.
Oh, can open. I thought you were saying it was like, can open worms everywhere.
45 people just judged you for not getting that.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Go on.
To get to the idiot's house.
I'm not playing your games.
You're not good at it?
No.
You don't get it?
No.
Okay, sorry. Let me try this one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The chicken. And you know where he was going, don't you, Steve? You know where that chicken was going.
Jeez. He's knocked on saying, can you have a word with you, mate?
I adore that joke so much.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Fallon told me that at work, and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed for a long time.
I'm gonna use that tomorrow, right?
It's great.
Pretend I come up with it myself.
I've done it with people. I think me and Jamie used to do it. It's really good if you do it with Facebook. If you time it right, you message someone. So one of you messages them on Messenger, goes, tells the first one, and then the other person pops up and goes, knock knock. And it's like, what? I go, she's there. It's the same chicken. And every now and again, the real dream is after the second joke, someone goes, I don't get it. Like, yeah. I love it. I love it so much.
Dan Collister, he was always a classic Hugo Boss man. Can't stand it now. Was that the Hugo Boss that was pretending to look like a water flask? Remember that bottle with the screw top lid, the little thing?
I was quite insular in my glorious polo sport world. I didn't really look outside too much.
No. Paintbrush Pirate says, I've still got an old bottle of Dupe. Dupe? I mean, that's up there with Cool Waters, Dupe. At my parents', it's like a time machine for the nose.
I bet it's late war Dupe all the time. Was it pink? It was like a pinky red, right?
The Dupe I had was like a bluey green bottle. Yeah.
I might be remembering it. I thought it was a reddy.
Or am I thinking? Oh, no. You might be right, actually. You might be right.
I'm going into this bad boy now, but
ooh. Emma. Good. I'm gonna. If you're doing that, if you're doing cookies, I'm doing Oreos.
That's quite good. I wouldn't say it tastes like cookie dough though. It almost tastes like tiramisu or something. That's good. Why.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, of course that's good. It's dairy milk with Oreo. Then.
Not as good as the white one. Not as good as the white one. Good though. Anyway, where was I? Aaron Garner says there's no other way to eat a Twix. There is. The proper way.
100.
Oh, Green Tree's on my level. I used to eat these by the bucket load. Green Tree says, do they still make drifters? Yes, they do. I used to love drifters. I remember at one stage, drifters, the 2 fingers in them were massive. And then all of a sudden, they just went really small. Just weird. Cutbacks.
Maybe you got bigger.
No, I like talking in the space of a week. Might have been after a live stream.
Brexit.
Larry says, my first bite of a Kit Kat is always to eat. My first bite of a Kit Kat is always to eat the chocolate, then the wafer.
It's just insane.
I've done it. I've done it. It's a lot of effort, isn't it?
You know a 4-finger Kit Kat?
Don't say it. Don't bring that to this stream.
What?
If they ate that without snapping the fingers off, someone's in trouble.
I mean, wait. How you get a 4-finger Kit Kat? How would you eat it?
A finger at a time, of course. Yeah, okay. The way you're supposed to eat Kit Kats.
You snap one off,
yeah,
and then you eat it.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. How? If you couldn't do that, how would you eat it?
What do you mean?
Well, if you couldn't snap one off,
I'd snap 2 off.
Say, all right, snap 2 off, eat them. Fine, I'll allow it. If you couldn't do that,
I can't snap it off. I won't eat it. I won't just take I won't just take a bite out of it. I'm
not trying to make you uncomfortable. You're absolutely right. You're eating it the right way. I'm just trying to get. I want to see how low we have to go before the following happens. So you've snapped 2 off. Then let's say you snap 3 off and eat them. How do you then eat it? If you can't snap any off.
Can't snap any off.
How do you bite it?
A finger at a time.
Say you can't. You got to bite it.
But that would just make me feel ill. It makes me feel ill thinking about it.
But if you had to,
yeah,
you'd go in down the fingers, right?
Oh! See, I didn't even think about what you're about to say.
That was worse. I saw someone turn it that way. Oh, and I just wanted to scream. There was like bits of broken Kit Kat finger flying out of each end.
See, I'd be doing jail time if I seen that. I'd be doing a 10 stretch.
I was kind of, I can conceive of you eating a Kit Kat wrong. I'm on board with that, and I can see you go, all right, for whatever reason, you really want a big bit of chocolate and you want to bite it. Then, for the love of God, bite it that way. Don't. I mean that.
See, my brain couldn't even until you said it.
Yeah, you can't even conceive it. I mean, until I saw it in nature, I couldn't think of it.
I didn't think it was possible. Because the thing for that is, no, it's just no.
Yeah, it's not even.
No. Shocker. Absolute shocker. Shocker. So, Larry Miller is eating all the chocolate first for like the first inch or so. And then he totally goes off topic and says, such a good model, I may have 3 of them.
You know about Thorin?
Must be. Aaron
You're
says,
normally talking about Thorin.
Bard, hero of Lake Town with Windlance. The face, there's no face.
I think the Windlance is better than the Bard.
Yeah, I do. There's no face to that Bard.
There's no face to a lot of Bards.
If you look at that, it's just flat with this like little nubbin for a nose. That's it. Dylan says Diesel was the ones that come in fancy bottles, and all the bottles are different colours, weren't they? And you could collect the different colours.
I remember Diesel.
Diesel was the first aftershave I ever bought with my own paper route money. Larry Miller says Orc General. Tim McKnight, off to take my daughter to her first year checkup. I'll catch the rest later. See you all later. Good luck, my friend.
Good luck. Hope all goes well.
Yeah. Hajinda says, did you guys like the logo I sent over? Yes. We'll need to reply to you.
Thank you very much.
We'll get onto that. We'll get onto that. Not in the stream, obviously. We'll drop you a message.
Thank you for taking it.
Where are we? Let's just jump to
I can't decide if I like this.
I'm not keen.
It does taste like the past.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Polo Sport. It tastes like something I shouldn't be drinking anymore.
Yeah. Green Tree says, I also sent some channel out. May have forgot to say it was from Green Tree. No, I knew it was for you. Again, we need to reply to you, my friend.
We've got a kind of channel art logo agenda item that we're kind of discussing at the moment. So yeah, we haven't replied to anyone, but thank you to the people who have sent the stuff in.
It's very, very kind. Hamdizzle says, NGL, totally forgot there was a stream today. What was NGL?
No, going late. Nice going, lads.
Nose, guns, legs.
Nose, guns, legs, yeah. Obviously, nose, guns, legs.
And he says, hello, chums. Hello to you, Hamdizzle. Dan Stewart says, good evening, lads. How are you doing, Dan?
Oh, people joining late.
Yeah.
Up to 50.
Good one, Damian. Sandwiches.
Sandwiches there, you see. They understand because they're not morons. You see?
Not having it. There's some.
Oh, Chris is texting in. He's watching. God knows what this is going to say. He just put. Oh, he sent me the answer. It's not going to lie. Not going to lie. There you go. That's my best mate Chris texting in to help us out. NGL. Not going to lie.
Not going to lie.
Oh, he's got our back.
Jesus.
I like that. Chris watching from afar.
Not going to lie.
Doesn't play the game. Doesn't paint the model, but he just wants to look out for me.
Not going to lie.
He's down with the kids.
Not going to lie.
Not going to lie. I like nose, guns, legs. So.
Yeah, I like that. It's better.
Don't lie.
Rich says, cheers from Northern Ireland. We have the Irish Hobbit League over here. Plenty of lads to play. Yes, very active. I'm in the Irish Hobbit League Facebook group. I keep one eye on you guys. So welcome, Rich. Good to have you. Paplock is laughing at me getting casually served. Michael Haskell says, the banter, the humour, the jokes, Edinburgh Fringe, year to be confirmed, surely awaits. Could you imagine the disappointment in that tent?
Battle streams at the Fringe. Okay.
Adam Davis says, you had a cheeky bit of dupe home, which was pink, and your dupe jump, which was blue.
There we go.
Ashamed to say I was quite the dupe connoisseur.
Don't be afraid of it, mate.
That's what they did with aftershaves back in the day. If it proved popular, they just changed something about it and put it in a different colour bottle.
Chris, you're watching. What was your? I was on Polo Sport when we were hitting up jumping jacks as kids. Send me a text. What were you on? What was your favourite choice? forget.
Uh,
You want a quick little to jumping jacks? God rest its soul. You have one near you?
we had a jumping jacks, yeah. We had a jumping jacks.
Oh, what a time to be alive. Dueling pianos. Oh. Rescue Mary jumping.
Was that your first club? Was it, or was that?
Well, we had a little strip called Jarman Park. It was in Hemel Hempstead, and you went to Hot Shots first, which was a bar.
These are
play some pool.
classy names. These are classy names.
Play some pool, get some treat drinks. I think they used to do like I can't remember, like cheap alcohol pops or whatever. And you go into jumping jacks. I feel like normally about 10, and you go in there, and that was a really cheesy club. And you're staying there till about midnight, and then you go into Visage. Visage, it was like the dance club. It was like the cool club.
Yeah.
And you'd be in there for about an hour, and then crucially,
all duped up, yeah.
Polo sorted out. At about 1 a.m, they would open the tunnel. Oh. And you said you had a Visage. Where did the tunnel?
No, not a Visage. We had a. What was the first one you said?
Jumping jacks.
Jumping jacks. Yeah.
I thought you sounded familiar with Visage. Right?
No.
But the tunnel would open, and you'd go into Ethos. And Ethos was the cheese one. But you had to do your time in Visage first.
The names.
Before the tunnel would open, and then that would be open till about 3, I think. That was our most regular haunts when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's the names, isn't it? Clubs are not called the old names anymore now, are they? We had
Prism.
we had the Palace. I used to go to the Palace. You know, standard, old school.
Sounds fancy.
Coco's. It was far. It was far from fancy.
We went to a Coco on a stag do a couple of years ago in Brighton, was it?
Coco's, man. Coco's was.
Coco, that was alright.
Coco's was good.
A group of slightly creepy 35-year-olds.
Oh god. We had the funny thing is we used to go to anyone who, I don't know if there is anyone in the chat from Manchester, but if there is, they'll know these two places. When I was younger, I never went to university, but I did kind of live a student life, because where I grew up, it was literally up the road from where all the students lived. A place called Owens Park, so everyone who went to Manchester Met, all the students were there. We used to go in all student bars, knew everyone there, blah blah blah, and we used to go to. There was 2 like indie bars in town around the corner from each other. One was called Fifth Avenue and one was called 42nd Street. Very apt. They're still open to this day. We love Fifth Ave so much that in fact one of my pals who we used to go there with frequently and ended up being the manager of the place. That was his career path. He loved it that much.
That is some like fan power right there, isn't it?
And there was
one. Be mine one day.
One of the first scourings to Cheshire. I got extremely drunk and we headed into Manchester. I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna take everyone to Fifth Ave because I know it's a good place. When I used to go there, it was 50p a drink. You get absolutely rat-arsed on a tenner. And I went and I did that thing. You know, you go at the door and I was like, "Is Keith here?" You know, I was like to everyone, "Don't worry, lads. I'll get us all in."
I'll get us in. I know. I
was like, "Is Keith here?" They're like, "No, Keith's not worked here for 10 years." That's like great.
20 quid.
But they let us in anyway, so we got in, and yeah, it was embarrassing. We were like all quite old, and it was full of like 18, 19-year-olds.
That is the problem, isn't it? A lot of people are now younger than us.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
It's wasted. It's wasted on the youth. It's youth.
I'm quite sure the majority of people used to be older than us, and now I think they're younger than us.
Yeah.
It's quite upsetting. And I don't really understand because I haven't got any older. I know that.
No, I actually feel younger.
Yeah.
I mean, I never used to play with toy soldiers and paint stuff when I was a kid, and now I'm doing it.
So got it reversed.
I've done it the wrong way around. Where are we? Oh, there it is. Harry Bates. Even lads, how are we? We're very well. Papalot says, it's not the fingers in Drifters, or whatever that was, that went smaller. You just became a big boy, Steve. Hey.
You can't rule that out.
Hey. Crispin says, do the snacks get smaller, or do we get bigger? I think everyone's trying to tell me something, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, he's right, though. It did happen. A lot of things have got smaller, but we have got bigger as well.
CamCam277. Managed to just jump in. Sorry, Mrs. had her leaving do at work. How are you getting on? Yeah, very well.
Three messages about that. I was like, bring her in,
Yeah.
bring her along.
Joe Holzman, there's the old Bill Bailey joke about melting 4 Kit Kat chunks together and pretending you're a hobbit. Max Mellis had to make the choice between a Guinness and a Caramel Aero. Tough choice.
That is a. I don't know what restaurant you're in that's making you make that choice.
Just stop both. Stop both. Larry's let us know it means it's not going to lie.
Yeah, I know that, mate. Obviously not gonna lie.
So
Got my
Hamdizzle.
man on the inside.
Here's one for you. So Hamdizzle says, "You old people, SMH, Work that one out.
Shake my head.
Shake my head.
Is it two separate things, or is it?
Yeah,
is it
two separate things.
AHH.
AHAH.
Aha! Must be a Partridge reference. It's definitely shake my head, isn't it?
Shake my head.
Don't know what AH is.
No.
It must be repetition. It must be the same thing twice.
No.
Surely.
Green Tree says SMH. Sniff my horse? Question mark.
Sniff my horse.
Hamdizzle says, I live 20 minutes from Edinburgh. You'd have to pay me to watch you pay there. Not like I'd ever give you money for any reason. Winky face. Aaron says, living in Staley, Vegas, you know my town's nightlife back in the day, Steve. Yes, Staley, Vegas. Staley Bridge. It's crazy place. Staley, Vegas is like the gateway between Lancashire and Yorkshire. It's where both Lancashire
literally a gateway.
It's where Lancashire and Yorkshire meet and get drunk, and anything can happen.
Every now and again there's a war.
Yeah. Larry says the most depressing thing is when there are people in clubs born in 2000 and later.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like,
I don't think anyone should be an adult who was born after 2000.
No.
I'm very comfortable with
that. Harry Bates says, Damian, are you convinced Grimbold needs a horse yet? Well, where has this come, like, rose from all of a sudden with all the memes?
On the Lockie had a rant, I think, on the Green Dragon podcast. I mean, a lot of people mentioned it for years.
Yeah. But it's like it's very prevalent at the minute.
It then blew up on the Zorpazort page, and they're now running a competition for the best meme and the best miniature conversion, all that sort of stuff.
Cam says, Damian, we're now lying in bed, rat ass. She isn't impressed. I'm watching the live stream.
Hello, Mrs. Cameron. This stream's gone to a new place.
To be fair, Cam, I'm not impressed you watching this.
This is a family-friendly stream, so I could
just imagine him saying to his missus, "Yeah, love, come on, let's
pop the stream.
Let's go to bed. I've got something to show you." She's thought, get in, son.
I don't want to say Mrs. Cameron. It sounds a bit offensive, but to Cameron's good lady, congratulations on leaving work. I hope it went well. I hope you had a good do.
I hope it was consensual.
What, the leaving the work?
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I hope you find happiness in the future, whether it's via this stream in your bedroom or other ways. We're very happy to have you here.
Both, yeah, works.
That is spectacular. That is next level streaming.
Not many streamers can say that. Yeah, there you
go. Yeah. Oh, I truly love this thing.
So Rosie Jones Rules says, continuing my Lake Town Guard army tonight, got about 20 fine cast spears to straighten out. Yeah, them spears are tough because they're very flimsy as well. But it's a great looking army once you get it painted up. Great looking army.
Well, no, I've never gone for that. If I had to go big on Lake Town, I'd go guard. I just never really, something about the survivors never really appealed to me.
That's what she's doing, Lake Town Guard.
Oh, she?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I must have misheard that. I thought she was doing survivors. Then that's awesome.
Yeah, they look cool. I've got a nice Lake Town Guard army. I never use it. I used it once. I think I might use it at one of the Desolations. Desolations of Stockport. Didn't do very well with it, but it's cool. It looks cool. But they're not on sand bases actually. They're the ones, I don't know if you remember, I made a load of bases before Matt released his. I made them out of the old Goblin Town platforms. Chopped them up.
What, the scenery?
Yeah.
You chopped up Goblin Town scenery to make bases for
Yeah.
Lake Towners. That's the most Steve Crow thing I've ever heard. That's absolutely
It looked cool.
insane.
It looked cool. Does look cool.
Weird hope.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
They're about £5 each.
Larry Miller says the AHAH might just be him saying AHAHAKAIK.
What?
I know that AKIK. AKIK. What does that mean? I've seen that before.
AKIK.
AKAIK. This is gonna. Yeah. We're just gonna be here, two old men trying to think of words. What? Michael Haskell says Grimbold can't SMH, of course. Smell my horse. Grimbold looks on in disdain.
That is outstanding.
Paplot says share in bed with your SO significant other Damian. I couldn't even get SO then for a minute. Share in bed with your significant other Damian and Steve at the same time, two of which might be present is in an online sense, but still must be something amazing. Can you imagine?
Yeah, well, if we can make this a fun activity for couples during lockdown, that's cool.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. You're welcome. Larry says he mistyped. Should be AFAIK.
AFAIK. That's as far as I know, isn't it?
As far as I know. Yeah, it must be, yeah. So you know more than me. You're down with the kids.
I'm proper trending.
Cam says she says she now likes the stream. Thanks, guys. New player clearly. Woo!
Absolutely.
Harry says Steve, you mentioned on the Top Table stream the other day you could see a couple of profile updates in Quest of the Ring Bearer. Who do you think needs it the most? Who needs a buff? I don't know. There's a few profiles that are quite old. I think if we do get a new Shagrat, I think like a generic Shagrat with options rather than two Shagrats would be better.
He's gone, isn't he? We don't have two Shagrats.
No, you know what I mean. So rather than it just be the shield bearing one,
yeah, you want
just have special rules and just have special rules that more suit who he is.
Or like Thranduil.
Like Thranduil, yeah.
I'm sure we talked about this on here before, but like, he's too good.
Yeah, he is
too. His role in the film.
Yeah, I agree. He is too good. It's a cool profile, but yeah, it doesn't feel like you say, it doesn't feel like him from the film. So maybe just stuff like that, just to sort of just tighten everything up a bit. What about you guys? What do you got? Do you think there's any profiles that need re-looking at? That could be looked at.
They haven't been changing profiles and supplements, have they? Haven't really been.
A few have. Like Lurk's changed, hasn't he? Lurk's got better.
Not in the supplement.
No, I mean he got better in this edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in like Gondor at War or Scar in the Shire or War in Rohan, none of the profiles have changed, have they?
I
don't think so. You get things like Sternhelm, which is kind of combining two, but you don't get updated third. You got the option for like Legendary Legion, so I think one that people bandied around a fair bit for Crest of the Ring Bearers, would there be one for Lurtz's Scouts or something?
Yeah.
And he might be better in that. So So you might that might be how you do it, or Shagrat's one if there's a Kirith Ungol one, right?
I think Shagrat's screaming out for it, isn't he? Shagrat's screaming out for a new model and a profile that more befits him. Where are we? Yeah, let us know what you guys think if there's any. Rosie Jones Rule says that's exactly what I'm doing too. Hey, had loads of old Goblin Town platforms lying around. Yeah, it looks cool. It does look cool. I do have some on that shelf there, and I'll be honest, I can't be asked getting up.
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, but I'm sure they look cool. Do let us see them in the thread. I'll get the thread up in a minute actually, because I bet there's a few bits on there.
Yeah, we haven't done that.
Tim says AFK is as far as I know. Yep. Oh God. Yeah. AFAIK. There's no abbreviation with AHAH. Sorry, I don't speak.
As far as I know, there's no abbreviation with AHAH. He's using an abbreviation to say that he doesn't understand an abbreviation. It's next level abbreviation.
Sweet Jesus.
That's Larry, right?
No, it's Hamdizzle. It says gambling.
That's got Miller written all over it.
It also says gambling needs a buff, to be honest.
Gambling is so fine.
Pablo says too good for his own good. Poor Shaggy boy. Poor Shaggy boy.
I think he probably means Shagrat.
Oh, I'm so tired. So tired.
Probably Shagrat.
I'm so tired. Larry says they should give Grimbold the option to take a pony.
I think they should give Grimbold on foot the option to take the old royal standard of Rohan. That'd mess up the Monas, wouldn't it? I don't even know what I'm arguing for anymore.
Abdul says it wasn't him at Paplock. I don't know what that means. Don't know. Hamdizzle says reference to Shaggy. So the Shaggy song. It wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't him.
Yeah, they've caught. I think I've caught up. Yeah, I'm up to date.
Yee.
So I will hand over to you to chitty chat, and I'll get the Facebook thing. Give me Bob up.
Cool. So, I was going to say, given that it is Keeper of the Dungeons week, as well as the weird design history of his profile, of his character in the films, we should probably have a little chat and talk about his profile.
Yeah.
And how people use him in the game. So we'll obviously have a chat, but the discussion topic for us to catch up on in a bit is going to be about who uses him in the game. Do you like him in the game? Do you rate him? Do you miss anything about him? And so on and so forth. And I think what I'll do is it might be one for to have a little peeky through some of the books. So I'm going to finish the dark brown that I'm doing now, and then I'll have a look at what this model has been used as and how he's been used over the years. If that sounds agreeable with you, Mr. Crow?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm just being nosy and looking at the thread prior to it.
Oh yeah, get the thread up. That sounds like a super idea.
So if I click this button,
I'm going to jump over to the Facebook page. So I can watch it in real time with you.
Okay, so are you on it, Damian?
11 comments, is that it?
24 I've got.
Oh no, that's my picture. I'm on my one. Let's go for that's on the GBHL, is it? Great British Hobbit League. Keeper Dungeons, 24 comments. Love your work. Let's have a look.
So we've got Frederick
Schultz.
Yeah.
He's launching things off, I believe.
He's got two flavours of chocolate orange there. Looks like a milk and a dark. Yeah.
And a whisper. He's got some candies working on there. I can't believe it. Just a little canned joke there for
you. Excuse me. Adam Sparks Davis building Golb. And hopefully working some more on my Shire Bilbo stroke Gandalf diorama. Cool.
What's the Shire? Tell us about that. What's the Shire Bilbo Gandalf?
Do show us.
So he's got the bag end Gandalf there.
Mm.
Oh, so is that he's going to go at the bottom of that? It must be. It's like the steps of bag end.
Mm.
Which Bilbo are you putting at the top there? Is it Hobbit Bilbo or Lord of the Rings Bilbo? Looks cool though.
It does look cool. Paplock is working on his roaring, but couldn't resist a little joke. Would Keeper of the Dung count? Nope. You
need to do for me to be satisfied with that pun. You'd have to do something else with it. You'd have to have done like yun, so you'd have to work in on or yun or yon or something for that. You know, Keeper of the Dung, yun. You need that extra syllable for that to really sell for me, I'm
afraid. Max Bolterdrill, some dwarfs. Some dwarfs.
It's a shocking lack of keeper there. Oh, they look good though, Khazards.
Yeah, Khazards are cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mr. Collister is working on his keeper. He says in the beginning. I'm going to zoom in on that because I want to see it closer. Oh, and there's a whisper gold. Whisper well. There's a whisper gold in the background there.
Right, that is a Battle Strings picture of her.
Reese says whip for gold.
That's quite cool. You've gone for more. Come at me, bro, with your mace, Dan. Your mace is kind of more out.
Which one?
Emerald Burn in the house. Thank you, darling. Oh, you alright? Alright, anything for the notes? She says Dubakar for the notes. Dubakar. Ah, what a good girl. Yeah, he's slightly more outward facing mace there. I like it.
It looks cool. Reese's gold looks cool.
Oh, he's looking awesome.
Yeah, like the eyes, man. Eyes look awesome.
I don't know if you've made. Oh, he's made more progress. Oh, he's done it. You see, I was just going to say, I don't know if you're looking at reference, but he should have a little more red in his beard, a little more blood in his beard if you're going true. But he's done that. He has nailed it. He looks awesome.
He does look good.
A couple of skulls on the base. Very good work. First finished keeper I've seen, I think.
Let's have a look.
A sculpt.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot. Mr. Colin Brown, local lad, very good painter. He's painting bold.
I'm going to be making a list of these, aren't I?
Yeah, you should be. You should be really. That's kind of why the folks tuned in.
I haven't done that.
Kind of why
not even a little bit.
Kind of play the game.
Not even a little bit. Let's go. I can imagine them watching that back, screaming, "He's not writing it down. He's not writing it down."
I'm not in the draw.
Adam Sparks Davis is in. What is he doing? He's not doing the one thing he's going to do.
Let's get the names. So we've got
Frederick's not. Adam is. Pavel's not. Max is not.
No.
Dan is.
And Reese is.
Yeah, Reese. He's done it. He's nailed it.
Smashed it. Colm is. Gaz Baller didn't get the memo. Didn't get the memo. No. Gaz did not get the memo.
It's just, good beer.
Yeah, nice greens.
There's a lot of green going on in that picture.
Mr. Holzman's trying to get 2 entries, but we can't allow it.
We can't trick us.
Mr. Richardson.
You could work it. Cameron could work it with his missus, right? If they both had a sculpt now, they could both post that.
Yeah.
Given that we know she's a hobbyist now.
Now she's a hobbyist, yes.
What, James Richardson? That looks something Erebor-y to me. That is a cracking photo of me that he's paused on, drinking some Dr. Pepper as well.
Belting packet of Galaxy Minstrels there in the foreground. Like it.
Absolutely belted.
Let's have a look at Dan's skin so far. Yeah, that looks cool. It's purples. I was going to ask because I've done the base colours for. I've done my Rakarth. Got a couple of layers on. I was going to put it out. Would you go more brown or more purple? And I think Dan has made my mind up for me.
I'd be shading that on him with some sort of Rakeland flesh shade to get some red in there. So that, which obviously isn't a million miles away from the purple. I wouldn't be going like the browns to shade it. I'd definitely be getting a bit of something to give it a bit of flesh colour.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare do that much detail on the flesh on that model without painting some of the other stuff.
But he's on the whiskey though, Dan, isn't he? That's it.
He's making crazy decisions.
Yes, he's making decisions he wouldn't normally make.
I'd at least give everything else like an undercoat, you know, so you didn't have that big sloppy brushwork. But you know, one option here is that Dan's a better painter than me, and I wouldn't rule that out.
Let's have a look. What's Ronald working on? Let's sort of zoom in. There's no keeper, but there's some classic orcs and some of the new orcs.
What's Zagdish up to? He's yelling at someone off camera.
Yeah.
And a cheeky. I don't know if can you spot the spy, Steve?
What?
Someone snuck into that photo.
The dead dude.
Yeah. Are you a Mordor orc? Oh yeah.
All right, lads. Is this the fancy dress party?
And he has actually. If you look in the replies, he's since finished those orcs, and they're looking cool. And Zagdish is looking up. And you know what's happened? Zagdish has spotted the spy. That's why he's not in that.
Nice skin tones on them. On the old orcs there. The one third from the left on the second picture. Nice blends on the face. Looks cool. Very cool. Cobb's calling it a night. That looks awesome. Looks awesome.
That looks wicked. Yeah, very good.
Very nice. Larry's based the skin thus far. He's one of them crazy people who paint it before he sticks it together. Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
No.
I couldn't do it. Part assembly.
Carl John Daly he's got some snacks, but he's not painting the keeper. But snacks are good, my friend, and Thai sweet chili crisps are nice. Josh Crosby.
Carl has got. Did you see his picture? He's got a drawer, like a lucky dip drawer.
What was it?
Full of kind of Middle-earth models, and he asked me to pick one. And there was a Minas Tirith banner bearer in there, so that's what I selected. I love that that's on a car seat. Like he's rushing home for the stream with his can of Monster and a ton of chocolate.
Be careful. Drive safe, man. Drive safe.
Yeah. There's always
Josh is in. He's going for the classic keeper.
His stuff's so good. Josh Crosby.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's getting the tarnished metals done first. That's how I painted my original keeper first, but I've gone flesh first.
Well, I've been base coating and everything first. So that's what I've been going from. I'm trying to get like something down on everything, and I'll start chucking some washes over, and then working up the various bits and bobs. It's got a bit of a cheeky grey going on this now.
Nice.
So we've got, perhaps unsurprisingly, I thought there was a lot of enthusiasm about Keeper Week. Maybe I'm a bit disappointed, but perhaps unsurprisingly, there's only 7 entries into the dice competition. So obviously we've still got. Let's go and have a look. We're still at 53 viewers. There's quite a lot of people in tonight. There's only 7 so far that we know of who are going to be in the draw to win the first ever live stream Battle Streams of Middle-earth Dice.
Yep.
But yeah, they'll be in there. We should just, given that it is 10:46, I just want to do one more kind of little plug for anyone who joined us late. We are giving away this dude, as we mentioned 2 weeks ago, to one of our patrons tonight. So as well as the dice, which will be for anyone who's just painting along, as we always do, this lovely, beautiful, long out of production model now will be going to one of our patrons. And that will be anyone who joined us in the last 2 weeks, but also if you join us tonight. So the Patreon link is in the description below, and there's no pressure whatsoever. But if you do sign up to that in this stream before 11:30 p.m, we will add your name into the pot of destiny.
The pot of destiny.
I'm going to go over. I won't give name shout outs because I don't quite know how people feel about that just yet. But I did say I've seen some notifications. We have had 3 patrons tonight.
Whoop.
So thank you so much. That is awesome. So 3 people are.
Thanks, guys.
I will need to add your little slips into the draw. And
I just realised I've got my glasses on when I'm saying thanks. I look like there's something wrong with me. Thanks, people.
Yeah, no, you don't. So I can, you know, as I said, I'm not going to give shout outs like that. I'm not quite sure how we feel about that in terms of naming people at this point, but I will ensure you can see the 3 people who've supported us tonight. So thank you so much. And I'll make sure that your names are in the draw. So yeah, if anyone wants to, even at the £1.20 level, no pressure obviously, but if you do, you will be in the draw tonight to win the Keeper of Dungeons, which we'll do sometime after 11:30. Hooray! Cool. Well done to everyone getting involved in Keeper Dungeons. Shall we have a little chat about his profile?
Yeah. Well, whilst we are, I'm going to paint bone. I'm going to paint the bone. But yes, I agree.
Going to paint some bone. So this book, do you remember this coming out? Were you?
Oh yeah.
Were you in it? Excited about this?
Yeah, that's what I kind of.
2012.
I think I said it on one of the streams when we were chatting about. I kind of went off the boil a bit, but stopped collecting. Kind of when the thing came out, when they announced it was coming, and I pre-ordered it like with no intention of getting back into playing or painting, but just because I was a collector. By then I was a collector, so I just thought I'm going to buy it. It's coming out. I'm going to buy it and put it on the shelf with all the other stuff, and not tell anyone that I collect toys. And was blown away by it when I opened the box. The quality of the plastics was just insane.
There's a storied history to it, and you can still find it all on the One Ring on the forum. You can still find the release thread and see what people were thinking about it months before. But for any new players, it's worth saying the game, it wasn't dead, but all the source books had come out in January of 2012 that introduced the warband system, and then there'd been nothing for like 11 months at all for the game. And when The Hobbit was coming out, people genuinely didn't know if it was going to be the same game. It's quite hard to imagine now, but they knew that Games Workshop had a license for The Hobbit, but they had no previews of any sort. And you knew that The Hobbit was coming, but the people were really speculating it could be a completely different scale, a completely different game. No one had no idea. And there was nothing whatsoever until literally a week before the White Dwarf, the pictures leaked. And that's when they saw all the models on the 25mm bases. And that's when everyone kind of went, oh, it is the same game. It's kind of mad to imagine that now. But I really, really remember those days. And this was the main rulebook as it was at the time. And there's a certain familiar name in the front. If we go and have a look at who wrote this edition of the rules.
Mr. Adam Troke.
Mr. Adam Troke, in the glorious days, of course, when they still would credit people who wrote the books, as opposed to just like the production team, whatever. And this came out, I think it was released on December the 1st. So it was about 2 weeks before the film came out. And it gave us our first real sense. There was some quite spoilery things about the movie to come, essentially. It's a beautiful book. It's a really, really, really gorgeous book. And it included such delights as the Alternative Thorns Company.
We had to wait so long.
We were all thinking, wow, that's going to be cool when that comes out in a couple of months. Little did we know we'd have to wait 7 years. And there's other sneaky bits in here as well, like that unreleased Billbound stuff. But yeah, so we got all the kind of profiles. And in there, as I held up a while ago, we had the profile for Borg, which is obviously the model we're holding now. He's 175 points. And just to be clear about the fluff here, every bit as powerful and ruthless as his father, Bolg is now king, and orc holds and goblin haunts throughout the Misty Mountains are in his thrall. I'll talk more about this in that other video I'm going to do, but it's quite clear that at this point, Games Workshop don't quite have a clue. Yeah. Like Azog's in here without a picture because they don't know what Azog is. There is no Yazneg profile because they don't know what that is. And so they've got Bolg as king. That sounds like the book. Azog's died. Bolg is now Lord of the Goblins or whatever, and he's going to be the big bad for these movies. And he's basically the Bolg profile, in love, fight 7, strength 5, defense 7, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 5, and he's 3-3-1. He's got 1 fate at that point. Heavy armor and 2-handed pick, burly, and he has the Bringer of Death. So that is his rule as it is. If he kills a model, he gets Terror. If he kills 5 or more, he gets Harbinger of Evil. And if he kills 10 or more, he gets Mighty Hero. So that's super, super awesome. But in these sad days, no Warg. No Warg for Bolg. So yeah, that's who he was. And that's in that version for Unexpected Journey. And a lot of people used him. I remember fondly playing against Tom Robinson at Throne of Skulls. We did a Battle of 5 Armies game. where I had like Thorin and Bilbo, and he had Bolg, and even then we'd seen the film, so we'd seen the first film, but we still thought maybe Bolg will be leading the orcs at Battle of Five Armies. I think there was a lot of people were thinking that in the second film, Azog was going to die, and Bolg was going to basically take over or whatever.
Yeah, I remember thinking that, yeah.
But yeah, so I remember Tom had the Gundabad orcs, and when they came out for Desolation Smaug, and Bolg leading that, even though at that point we're like, well, okay, so he hasn't turned up in the second film, so what's going on? But he was still our Bolg. And then this book came out, Desolation Smaug. This was for the second film, and we were all like, okay, so what's the exciting news about Bolg? And there was no news about Bolg. There was no reference to him. There was no new profile for him, which is when people tended to get a bit worried about the Hobbit. So this is for the second Hobbit film, and Bolg appears in the second Hobbit film, and we're like, okay, so we're going to get an updated profile, an updated model, no new model, no warg for Bolg, absolute silence, just the strange tiny mystery of this silhouette. It clearly shows Azog on his warg, and it clearly shows Bolg still in the same gear.
Yeah.
Giving us that tiny bit of hope, maybe. Was he coming in the future? No new profile. So you've got 2 years of using that profile from the main rulebook. And then this came out. God. What a difference 2 years makes. Unexpected Journey, Battle of Five Armies. And this came out, and we were so excited for all the new evil models that were going to be released. Do you remember that? And we Gundabad Orcs, the Nazgul of Dol Guldur, the Trolls, the Ogres, maybe the Werewolves, and we were so excited by the evil section.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see what's after that. Oh, I mean, is that Azog, Bolg, and Smaug?
Yeah.
It's mad to think this now, because people take it for granted. That was the evil offering from Battle of Five Armies. Smaug, fair enough, pretty good model. And Azog and Bolg, no Gundabad Orcs. And in this, for the first time, check that out, Bolg.
The Bolg.
This new Bolg.
The Bolg.
And the Keeper was replaced. This guy's pretty much the same, except, 3 fate. His fate went up, and now we have a slightly different blurb. In his father's absence, Bolg has ruled the Orcs of Mount Gundabad with an iron fist. Now he leads them forth in great number to complete Azog's victory and the destruction of his hated foes. So this is obviously up to date with the new synopsis for the film. He's pretty similar, same profile apart from the fate, heavy armor, 2-handed pick, burly, bringer of death, and he also gets ancient enemies, which is a great rule for him. Bolg, Castellan, Mount Gundabad re-rolls to wounds rolls of 1 when making strikes against elves and dwarfs, which means, I believe, he can wound, let me get it straight, 4s, 3s. He can wound Elrond on 3s re-rolling 1s. Is that it? He can go up to strength. Oh no, he could go up to strength 8 in those days. That would be 4s plus 1 for 200 weapon 3s. Yeah, and then re-rolling 1s. I think that was it. And Galadriel, he could wound on 2s re-rolling 1s, which was quite exciting. Good. And he got the option for a Felwarg. So that was when Bolg, as you know him, as you would buy him now, appears in our game. And at that point, this is when the game dies. At the end of 2014, this is the end of SBG essentially. There is no more profile. So now at this point, what you have is a new look Bolg, and this is where the kind of questions came in. People were like, "Well, can I still use this guy as Bolg if I want to? Like, is that still a viable choice?" And he got then around that time, he got renamed as Gundabad Orc General.
Yeah,
which there wasn't a profile for. But people tended to use him. You could use him as a Gundabad captain, but a Gundabad captain didn't have an option for a 2-handed weapon, so there's always a bit wonky there. Or some people used him as a hunter orc captain, because a hunter orc captain could have a 2-handed weapon. So I used him as that. I used him when I played doubles with Troki in, I don't know when that was, 2016 maybe. He had Azog and a hunter orc captain, and I had Bolg and a Gundabad orc captain, and I used that guy. And that's where we thought it ended, really. That's where we thought that's how it was going to be. That would be the end of the game. And so we had this strange conundrum where we had this beautiful model that didn't really have a profile. And so and I am going to have to get up at this point as I leave a dramatic twist. Me and Tom Harrison decided to do something about it.
Are we ready for this? Is the world ready for this? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. Is there anyone in the chat who doesn't know what the Golb thing is? That'd be interesting. That would be very, very interesting.
And I'm back.
I was just saying, Damian. I wonder if there's anyone in the chat who doesn't know what the reference to Golb is. And they're thinking,
maybe.
Are they thinking, can none of these guys spell?
I'm wondering what would be on my GBHL tombstone. You know, what would be my greatest gifts to the community? Maybe the Freddo thing. I can claim that, and it could be Golb. I don't know. Or maybe a broader love of Terrier. But SBG issue 2, our fanzine. This came out in spring 2015, which means we were probably working on it. It's hard to say, at the end of 2014. So let's just be clear what's happened there. We've seen the Battle of Five Armies, but we haven't seen the Battle of Five Armies Extended Edition.
Yeah,
that's when we're making this. And so we were at exactly this point where we had this model, we loved this model, and he was a Gundabad Orc General, and the Gundabad Orc General didn't have a profile, and this is really important, the game was dead. There was nothing, there wasn't anything else coming out. They were quite clear about that SPG was over. And so we decided to do kind of do our issue around the Battle of Five Armies. No, that's not true. Around the Battle of Erzan-Albazar. And even on the cover, we made sure that whilst we made it about Thorin v Azog with Dave Fredericks' amazing two-armed Azog, we made sure that just there, just in the background, you could see him. And I think, Larry will tell me if I'm wrong about this, someone spotted him, like when we put the cover up, someone went, oh, is that a cheeky Gundabad Orc General? And I feel like it might have been Larry. It could be wrong. But we wanted to put him in there. And inside here, we gave him a profile. So we came up with a scenario. Because as well, this book had come out, but you had the slightly wonky 3 scenarios for the Battle of Dimwell Dale. Do you remember those?
Yeah, yeah.
They were literally just like, you have to kill Thrall or you have to kill Azog, and nothing else matters. And so we wanted to make one massive scenario for it. And we wanted to have him in there. You know, we wanted to have this guy in. So we also did these profiles for Thrall and Thrain, because at the time, the Thrall and Thrain profiles from the book were completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember exactly, but I think Thrall had a two-handed axe. No, sorry, Thrain had a two-handed axe. I think Thrall didn't have a shield. He couldn't shield.
Yeah.
So it was all bit. So we kind of updated those, and they were really expensive as well. And over here, we put the legend, the man, the myth, Gundabad Orc General. So we basically named the Gundabad Orc General, and we called him Golb. Now, I need people to sit down for this, because it's like when Battle Streams Middle Earth called.
I don't know if you should let this secret out. You should just keep people guessing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's latched onto it over the years.
Where did they get this name from?
Well, do you remember last week when Rock was a name they gave Snaga?
Yeah.
And it was actually, potentially, it could be a coincidence, an anagram of Orc.
Yes.
Oh, Steve, have a look at this. Golb.
Yes.
It's only an anagram of Bulb.
Oh, jeez. Where do you come up with this stuff?
I'm sorry, man. You need to call some people.
Gosh. I need to write a Facebook post.
I think we had like 2 choices. I think we thought about Glob for a while. Glog, Glob, or Golb, and there was only really one choice. Really,
yeah, I think you got it. Right.
And the long writing of Golb, the Golb with all the O's, I believe can originally be really attributed to Jamie Giblin, who was a huge fan of Golb. And it's said in the style of In Desolation of Smaug, when Azog walks out on that precipice and he talks to the necromancer, and then he gets a bit pissy, and he turns around and he goes, "Boy!" and calls Bolg. It's that, but it's Golb instead of Bolg. So you go, Golb! And that's where Golb comes from. And we decided to have a bit of fun with it. And And because he was a general, we wanted him to be better than a captain, but worse than Azog and Bolg. So we made him 95 points, sort of where Lurtz is now. And get this. I mean, you're gonna this. Oh, this is what I wrote. Golb was once Azog's most trusted lieutenant, guarding the dungeons of Dol Guldur. However, Bolg has recently usurped Golb as Azog's second in command, fueling a bitter hatred between Bolg and Golb. I mean, this is gold, or Golb. So what we did, was we turned the design production stuff into the rules for the game.
I like it.
I know.
I like it, mate. I like it.
Heavy armor, two-handed pick. We gave him Burley, we gave him Ancient Enemies, and then we gave him the rule Disgraced General.
Ooh.
Golb has been supplanted by Bolg as Azog's second in command, and will do whatever it takes to impress his master. If Golb is within 12 inches of Azog, he counts as being in range of a banner. In addition, Golb receives the Bodyguard Azog special rule. Essentially, we wrote, and then his second rule was Bitter Rivalry. Golb will never participate in any heroic action called by Bolg.
Hell no.
And so we wrote the rules to mean that he would be incredibly annoyed and jealous of Bolg, as he'd basically nicked his job, which of course is what the CGI Bolg did to this design in the films. His profile was Fight 5. He's basically a bumped up captain, I think. Fight 5, Strength 5, Defense 7, 2 attacks, 3 wounds, Courage 5, 2 might, 2 will, and 1 fate. And that was our goal profile. And people liked it. I think people, again, at this time, there was no official Middle-earth team. And so this sort of stuff, this wasn't official by any means, but people used it. It was definitely, I remember Sam Page let him be used at tournaments.
Yeah.
Because that model didn't have a profile. People were quite keen to be able to use him. And so he just became a bit of an independent fan favourite, I think, in the UK, which is incredibly cool and incredibly humbling. And then we used him at least one more battle report. We used him in issue 4, I think, to allow for him. And we thought we'd done our bit, We thought that was it. It's only an independent fanzine. It's only unofficial, but at least now that specific model has got a profile, and we had a bit of fun with kind of creating a version of him that could be used, and thus everyone who's got that model will be able to use him in their games. The end.
Beautiful.
Until
beautiful. Dun, dun, dun.
And Team Middle-earth appears, and all is wonderful. Everything's glorious in the world, and the new team comes out, and I think they announced, I can't quite remember how, they announced that their first project is going to be working on finishing the Hobbit, essentially, and it finally gives us the evil section we wanted for Battle 5 armies, with berserkers and warbats and troll brutes and trolls and catapult trolls and ogres and mercenaries, and it's just glorious. It's weird now because this book was in print for a relatively short amount of time. It's about 1.5 years or 2 years. It's quite nice going back and remembering how good it was. Yeah. And in there, we reached our final version. There he is for the first time, the Keeper of the Dungeons. With that picture, which I believe that is the one shot. I think that's the single shot of him in the theatrical edition of Battle of 5 Armies, I think. And here he is, and he's super cool. Like his title suggests, the Keeper of the Dungeons guards the prisoners brought to the fortress of Dol Guldur. He's a huge and barbaric orc who relishes in the torturing and disfiguring of his victims. Tasked with obtaining the Elven Ring from Gandalf, it took Galadriel herself to prevent the Keeper of the Dungeons from completing his master's bidding. This, of course, now is J. Clare writing the rules for him based on the extended edition of the Battle of 5 Armies, where he tries to get the ring off Gandalf.
Yeah.
He's 75 points, Fight 5, Strength 5, Defense 6, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, Courage 5, 3 might, 1 will, 1 fate. So he's a bit worse than R1. He's a bit weaker than R1. We did arm, sword, and 2-handed pick. Obviously, it's defined by the model. He's burly, and he gets 2 super cool rules. This is where I was getting the L1 thing from, because he gets the +1. Torturer. Every time the Keeper of the Dungeon slays a model, keep a note of it. Once he's killed 1 or more models, he may re-roll rolls to wound. He may re-roll to wound rolls of a 1. Once he's killed 3 or more models, he causes terror. Once he's killed 5 or more models, he re-rolls all failed to wound rolls. Yeah. Do you know why I love that rule so much? because it's Bulg.
Hmm.
It's a mini version of
Mini
Bulg. And
Bulg.
I'm sure it's not a coincidence that, you know, this model was once Bulg, and Jay gives him a rule that's a bit like Bulg.
Yeah.
And then second rule, you have something my master wants, which I think is pretty much his only line in the film. The Keeper of the Dungeons has been tasked with retrieving the Elven Rings, a task he is determined to fulfill. Keeper of the Dungeons gets a bonus of +1 to wound against any model that bears one of the 3 Elven Rings, Nenya, Naria, or Vilya.
It's a cool rule.
And that's where I got the Elrond thing from.
Mm.
So in Ye Olde rules, he was strength 5. He could go up, he could pierce and strike up to strength 7 or 8. Which would be 4s to wound against Elrond, +1 for being burly, 3s to wound, +1 for him having an Elven Ring, 2s to wound. And if he killed a model, he could re-roll 1s. So the Keeper of the Dungeons was 2s to wound against Elrond, re-rolling 1s. Which is pretty good.
Pretty
and
grim.
that was that's how he kind of arrived in SBG. Do you remember him coming out there as the Keeper of the Dungeons for the first time?
Yeah, I think it was one of them profiles that like nobody expected, and it's like you meant, you know, in reference to the bowl, a lot of people. So he was the mini Bolg. I think he's been referenced as mini Bolg on many occasions. Yeah, it's just very cool, very cool.
And then Armies of the Hobbit. And he's already got his profile. He's exactly the same. Obviously, he now gets heroic actions. He's a hero of fortitude. He gets strike, strength, and challenge, which are kind of the ones you'd need. And do you know his strange change? Do you know his change between there and back again in the Armies of the Hobbit?
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
2 stats changed, kind of bizarrely.
Fate.
Yeah, and
Fate and defense.
Fate and Will.
Will.
So he was 3-1-1, which is your kind of standard names captain.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, so this is Jay changing his own rules for the first time. He goes 3-3-0. Why is that? 3 might, 3 will, no fate. What do you think?
He dies, doesn't he?
He does die, but he dies to a spell.
Yeah.
I don't really get it. I almost understand getting rid of his fate, although that's something I despise. I hate characters who die having no fate. I just don't like it. But yeah, he got 2 points of will and he lost a point of fate. It's very strange. And I think if you use him as a utility model in the game, you'd want the fate more than you'd want the will.
Yeah.
But there he is. Have you used him a lot?
Nope. I've used him once.
How do you go on?
All right, yeah. I used him in. I think me and Jay played a doubles event, and I can't think what it was, whose it was, but we used him then because Jay's a big fan of him. He uses him quite frequently when he used to play Dol Guldur. He had a Dol Guldur army. But yeah, I've not had much experience with him, in all honesty. But yeah, I used him a couple of times, and he was all right. It was pretty cool. What's his defense? Is it 5?
He's 6 now.
6.
Yeah. Because I had him. I painted him up for SPG 2.
Yeah.
And then was very, very, very fond of him, like because we put all the time and effort into him, and we used him throughout it. He was always just a model that I adored and was very keen to use. And whenever I used him as a captain, like before There and Back Again came out, I always called him Gulp. That was always his name, even if I wasn't using those rules.
Yeah.
And so when he actually got a profile, I was really excited for him. We used him. Me and Tom, we took the Nazgul of Dol Guldur to Stockport in Flames.
Yeah.
When they'd just come out, and we were like, "This will be fun." And then it was like, "Oh, the Nazgul of Dol Guldur are really good." And I also took them then to a competitive event, like a 100-point event, I think it was, the best event ever. And I took him. I think we took him in both, and he's such a liability in that list.
Yeah.
The Nazgul don't die, and he's a really great profile, and a great model, but you get outnumbered. It doesn't matter if the Nazgul get outnumbered because they always come back. But he would always be the first one to die for me in that list, in that all hero list, because he just didn't have the survivability. So he was always he was like a little, I don't know, Merry or something. He was my Ori, you know, a little might battery. He desperately try and use up his might on heroic moves before he gets tanked. But, and I don't know, would he have more use in a normal Dol Guldur army, do you think?
What's his points now?
75.
His special rules are cool, but it's if you can use him with enough effect to get them rules to kick in. If you can get him to be as killy as you need him to be, etc.
Your ring things, you know, you're just at the mercy of your enemy, aren't you? If they've got a ring bearer or not.
Yeah.
There's how much you can do about that. But I'd be curious because I haven't got any Hunter Orcs painted up. I've only got Gundabad Orcs, so I've always been more Azog's Legion, even in the kind of Dol Guldur sense.
Yeah.
But if I was building an army, I just wonder how do you ever pick him over one of the Nazgul? Love to hear people in the chat and in your own experience on that. Is he a good choice? You know, where he can't get outnumbered and swamped, like when you're playing your hero list. Is he a good option as a captain? And he might well be. He's a tanky little profile, but they definitely pointed it to make sure that it's the Necromancer, all 9 wraiths, and the Keeper 1,000 points, aren't they?
Yeah, I think
so that's definitely intentional.
I think he falls in that trap, doesn't he? Of he's a when you look at his profile standalone, you think it's decent. I'd definitely use him, but then you have so many better options in that army.
You got the same option 9 times, haven't
you? Yeah, and it's hard, especially if you're playing competitive. It's hard not to take the race.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's what's the point of you playing? That's the question, I think. But for me, he always goes in because I'm so like emotionally attached to him. Yeah. He's always like, yeah, well, you'll find. I'll find space for it, even if no one else does.
Yeah,
I'll find space for Golb. So that's our little our little meander through the history of Azog, Nabolg, Nagolb, the Keeper of the Dungeons. He's cool. I need to find me some Caliban Green.
Caliban Green?
Oh, Castellan Green, is that what I mean? I've found my handy email that I send to myself that tells me how to paint my Dol Guldur bases. Caliban Green, is that an updated version? It's possible I was using the old colour. Oh, Caliban Green, got it. It's a dark one. So I think I might chuck down some Caliban Green on this base and then jump into the chat.
Yeah.
See how everyone's getting on.
I'm just touching up my
what are you working on?
Metals. Just getting the metals on. Do you know what I really struggle with? Like, I'm looking at the image on Forge World, and they've just painted his mace hammery thing. They've just painted it metal, but I thought it was bone.
I've got I think the top. I'm looking at my old one. I think his blades are metal, and the handle's bone.
But the
Caliban's gone gunky as sin.
See them spiky bits, like the top. It looks like the discs of a spine.
Spiky.
You know, at the top, the actual pick bit.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I'm gonna have to look at the actual.
What we haven't looked at, sir. Hello.
Yeah, that'll do.
Let's have a look.
On the old one, the original one, I painted it as bone, and it looks pretty cool.
Torture of Dol Guldur. Now that bit's metal.
It's all metal.
Yeah, I think so. It looks metal. It's a bit dark. It looks like rusted metal. It's not pale like bone. Look at the bone. Look at the bone up here. Bone up there, and those are the spiky bits.
Metal is. Metal.
Just the 2 pages. It could be fun to read through, actually. See, a little bit of the design history in there as well. What are you thinking of the new sculpt? You've spent a bit of time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it as soon as I seen it. and I still like it. I still think it's a really cool sculpt.
It's very, very cool to finally get our hands on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like we say, it's what these streams are all about. Did I need the keeper of the dungeons that I've got? Nope. Do I really play with him that much? Nope. Did I need a new one? Definitely not. Am I enjoying painting it? Yeah.
I think I'm going to need me some new Caliban green.
Sounds that way, my friend.
Thank God I'm only painting one base here. It's got to get enough coverage to make it look dark green.
You know what you need?
Some new Caliban green.
An airbrush.
The problem is,
Right.
I just haven't got the space for it.
Yeah.
I love that I'm desperately trying to... I've got quite a lot of greens now. I'm desperately trying to make sure that the base green that goes underneath the wash will then go underneath the highlight, that then goes underneath the top highlight, is the same as the colour I used, 4 years ago, because anyone would ever notice.
You'd know. That's the thing.
This looks wretched, though. It's really, really runny. That'll do. It'll do. It's going to be hit the wash anyway. Chuck a bit of grey on that. And we'll be ready for the wash. And that'll be about as far as I can get with that base tonight. So we have, it's 11. We have 10 minutes left for you to, should anyone else be tempted to make the plunge and join our crazy, lovely chat community. What's really nice is after we mentioned that earlier, I saw there's some messages on it. I'll give a couple of shout outs here where Stephen said this is the best. That's different, Stephen. Frederick said best chat in the world, confirmed. Larry said I only found this chat about half an hour ago, so he's not got the most out of it. So a couple of nice comments from our patrons there about the joys of our chat. So
beautiful people, though. I wouldn't expect.
I had actually thought, I was like, God, Larry's a bit quiet on this. He's not been saying too much. But yeah, it is good fun. So yeah, there's about 10 minutes before we close the draw to win the Keeper of the Dungeons. Keeper of the Dungeons. I'll leave that dry. And I think I'll pop back into the chat.
I'm getting loads of painting done tonight.
Yeah. See what happens when you don't drink. Right. Let's have a look at Chatty McGee. Look. Oh my goodness. We're up to 45. 2 more people have joined the party.
Jeez.
45. Thank you so much. You guys are in the draw. Let's pop over to YouTube. So, sir, how far do you reckon you got?
Right in the chat.
Oh my! You would not believe who's in. I'll have to save it as a surprise. I think he's a first timer for battle streams, but he's a hero amongst men. Here we go. Hamdizzle wants me to do a chipmunk rendition of Shaggy. For some reason. Maybe. If only there was some kind of canned laughter to go with these canned jokes. That's good, Hamdizzle. Adam Davis says, thanks. That's all right. Don't know what we're thanking it for. It'll be, he's talking about his diorama on the Facebook page. It'll be Hobbit Bilbo going to maybe try to remove, the plastic one, going to maybe try to remove the walking stick and add a pipe or a book. That'd be very cool. If you can get hold of it, it needs more modelling work than you'd think. But a cool idea for that is the Mirkwood jumping one. It's really, really hard to get hold of now. But it's a super awesome sculpt, the one where he's jumping over the log and you can have him jumping over the fence. But you probably want to remove the bottles on his back. So probably better to go with what you're doing. But I've seen a few people do that over the years, have him jump on a fence. Reese says, thanks. It's an exquisite sculpt, to be fair. I feel like maybe that was in the Facebook post as well. Did he paint? Was Reese painting him in the Facebook post?
I think so.
He said he was doing a great job. I think that sounds familiar. This is what happens when we work. Let me go and have a look. Come on. Yeah. And he finished. Did he finish him? Yeah. I think it's Reese that finished him. Yeah, finito. Yeah, so that's what that's about. Yeah, awesome work, Reese. That block says shields are done and only hair remains to be painted will be done tomorrow. Thanks for another awesome stream. We'll add the vid to my painting backlog playlist as always to watch the rest. Thank you very much, Pat.
Cheers,
Good
brother.
night, sir. Larry Miller says the keeper's pointy codpiece always unnerves me a little. Oh, I know. It's there, isn't it?
Yep.
It is what it is. You know, he's a dude. A few people saying good night. Batblock. Stephen Spark says, unfortunately, I'm at work and I can't work on anything. I'm sorry, sir. I raised my beer to you on a Friday night. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Larry Miller. I pre-ordered. I think we're talking about the Hobbit release. I pre-ordered to guarantee that I got the limited edition Radagast and did nothing with it for a year. Glad I managed to get him before he went though. It's kind of mad to think now that there are people joining the game who won't know anything about that. That the Escape from Goblin Town set had a limited edition Radagast, which is the plastic one, and until it was withdrawn before the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, it never sold out.
It was limited edition for about 10 years.
They never ever released the box without limited edition Radagast, and supposedly, I don't know the full story, but supposedly they just speculated the numbers wrong. I think it's something to do where they planned the numbers based on how the game was at the height of Return of the King, I think, rather than after a kind of 10-year wait. I think.
I heard, and obviously these are just like rumours, and they could be just someone could have just made it up to sound interesting. That when someone was inputting the amount to wherever the factory was, they accidentally added another zero.
No. I would hate to imagine that there's a possibility that could be true. You know, that it's literally one person inputting. You know, at 1.10 can change your life. Yeah. I told you about my friend at work who did that with the pens.
No.
I told you that story. Like my friend Rachel, and to this day I can never remember which way around it is. But either she worked in the recruitment department at work, and she was getting St. Mary's branded pens for like open day, and she did that. She added a zero, and I can't remember if she was meant to order 1,000 and she got 10,000, or she was meant to order 10,000 and she got 100,000.
Oh gosh!
I need to ask her, but she just had this cupboard full of pens, you know, forever. And the thing is, they will go. We're unlikely to change our name, but yeah, so it can happen. Here he comes. Are you ready?
Go on.
Steve, take a punt. Who is it joining us?
Oh.
I think it's the first time in the live stream for him. Take a punt.
You're asking me to take a punt on.
Yeah. You want to pick a famous GBHL nerd. Stop looking at your screen.
I've not got the chat up. A famous GBHL nerd.
Yep. Very famous.
Thomas Harrison.
Oh, as if. As if.
Go on.
Danny Entwistle.
Mr. Entwistle.
Danny Entwistle in the house. He says, hey chaps, late in, but good to see your faces. And it's good to see your purple avatar thing, Danny. So good to see you. A mix underneath from Danny and Micken. This is awesome. And he says, is that the book where the 9-mite Alfred came from? And indeed it was.
Oh, yes.
Desolation Smell book.
Missed that guy.
It's that Alfred. Where is it? Oh, it's underneath.
Couldn't beat having a super Gandalf.
We go back there just for the lols, for the good times. The first Alfred profile. Remember, a cup of tea, reading the Beowulf profile for the first time, the Tariel profile for the first time. What a time to be alive. And the Alfred profile, and 1,000 nerds across the world spit their tea out when they read, Alfred the Counsellor can choose to expend any number of will points at the start of the priority phase before any dice are rolled. For each point of will he expends, he may nominate a single friendly hero within 6 inches and roll a d6. On a roll of 2 to 5, the nominated hero gains a point of might. On the roll of a 6, the nominated hero instead gains d3 points of might. On the roll of 1, the nominated hero instead loses d3 points of might. Oh, that's bad, but it's all right because Alfred gets them instead. He gets a point of might. Might gained in this way can take the chosen hero store of might beyond its initial level. Dear sweet Moses. Alfred's so popular at that time. So you could, in theory, give a hero 9 might.
Yep.
I mean, there were horror stories. I played a 9 might Gimli once.
Oof.
So that means he'd been given 6. And it just basically meant that you put Alfred there, and it wasn't 1 per turn, so you could do it at the very start of the game before priority. You would just roll 3 dice and give the hero next to you, basically, generally speaking, 3 might, and normally between 3 and 6 might. It was wretched.
Yeah, it's good.
And then you'd also see him paired up with Gandalf to strengthen his will,
Yes.
or even a cheeky bomber on pony.
I never did the bomber. Never did the bomber.
That was Owen Wright's trick. I did the bomber. Yeah, I was talking to you about it, wasn't I? I'm sure we did it on the stream a few weeks ago when I had my all-hero Hobbit army. And I had that little combo to try and make it a bit better. Didn't work. But yeah, Mick, good times. And actually, oh God, I don't know if people are going to explain it, because then Rosie Jones Rules has said, 9 might Alfred. What? Larry says it was in the DOS supplement. And Danny Entwistle and 4 comments writes GOLB. Golb, which I love. Hamdizzle says, hi, I'm new. I've only been playing 18 months. Hi, I'm new. Oh, he's just saying he's new to the game, not new to the stream. So hopefully some of this is quite interesting to you. Ronald Val says, seen people all over the Facebook page yelling gold for months. Never had a clue what they were on about. There you go, mate. It just warms my heart. Hamdizzle says, my fave is Angry Book Nerd. It sums up it sounds like someone very well. I don't know possibly what you're talking about. Larry Miller says they should have named Yazneg Ozag. Now, Steve.
Yes.
I'm going to blow your mind again.
Okay.
Ozag is an anagram of Azog.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Jesus.
I know, right? And Adam G or Gozer.
Gozer.
How does Gozer fit in Ghostbusters? Is he Zool? Are they the same?
Gozer. Gozer's like
Gozer's the destroyer.
Yeah.
Is he? But is that not the same as Ghoul? Is Zool the god? There is no. What's the name? There is no Dana. There's only Zool.
Yeah, and I think.
I can't remember what that happens.
Is Gozer? Wasn't Zool trying to get Gozer? Oh, was Gozer the Marshmallow Man or something? I don't know.
Gozer's not the Marshmallow Man. Gozer, I believe, is the manifestation. No, Marshmallow Man is the manifestation of Gozer, I think. I think Zool brings forth Gozer.
Yeah.
Good times. Gone down from 44 to 43 at that point.
There is still a lot of people in the chat who have no clue what we're talking about. New
Cambridge Pirate,
cool.
those gold special rules sound like the Gandalf Saruman rivalry rules. Hey, whoa, let's not cast plagiarism aspersions around here, my friend. Indeed, there's a few of those, isn't there? There's Lotho Sackville Baggins, I think, won't participate in anything with Bill. There's a few of them, but yeah, we wanted that kind of I ate you type of thing. Josh and Paintbrush Pirates finished carving my phone. Get some pics up on the Facebook page, and we'll have a look. Josh Crosby wants a Battle Streams bat rep of Golb versus the Keeper. Old versus new. Golb versus the Keeper. I think Golb would win. He's got 3 wounds and a fate. And if it was just a one-on-one, Golb, the Keeper wouldn't get any of his bonuses. Yeah, my money would be on Golb, which is right, because Golb was 20 points more expensive, so it probably should happen. Larry Miller, I presume it's to give him a chance against the White Council. The Gorb, yes, I think that's absolutely right. Oh, he means the will points, I see. Yeah. And Joe says maybe it was to counter him being able to be banished by Galadriel. I agree with you entirely, but my issue with that is that they've removed his fate because he dies. But he dies by being hit with a spell, and they've given him will to help resist spells. See what I mean? There's something strange there where it's like, we want him to recreate what happens in the movie, so we're going to give him the chance to resist banishment, which he doesn't. We're going to take away the chance to not die by other things that aren't banishment, which he does. I just find it weird. Larry Miller says, I think it'd be good if you were building a competitive army and needed a 10th warband lead. Larry, you crack me up. Wouldn't he be the 11th? Wouldn't you have the necromancer? Damian was talking, I think it's a thematic choice. If you wanted the list without the race, he's an easy include. He's also just a wonderful looking chap. So that's as good as any to put him in. I completely agree. That's why I put him in. Because I can't not. He's gold. Joe Holzman says Damian's right. Love you, Joe. All of his weapons are metal with bone handles. Got that, Steve?
Yeah, got it.
Metal with bone handles. Crispin. Good night, gentlemen. Another great evening of painting and listening to your wise words. Oh, thanks. You're the best.
Wise?
Wise words? Larry Miller. What a statue, and the screenshot looked like metal. Steve's got a very loud Facebook notification going on.
Yeah.
Hasn't muted it. Rookie error. Larry Miller says, I really like the sculpt, but it feels like a little too cool for such a minor character with his tongue out. Indeed. Because I can only presume when they were sculpting it, he was probably Azog. I reckon. I heard someone on the page a few weeks ago saying, why is there two sculpts of him? And it was probably because he was certainly Bolg, wasn't he? But he was probably Azog when they were sculpting him. He was probably the big bad in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Michael Askell played 3 hours of real tennis earlier today, and I'm really tired now. Thanks as always for sharing your company with us all. Good night. Not a problem. Thank you for joining us.
Put your feet up, son. Put your feet up.
How dear AA says good evening.
Evening?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Do you wish us a good evening? Or are you saying that you feel good this evening? Or that it is an evening to be good on? Larry Miller says, I thought I hadn't got the link and meant to chase it up, but was busy with work. What link? He says, then it just appeared today. Wow, what link's he talking about?
Don't know.
Nick Baclar says, best model ever. Do you mean, Mick, we always read these 20 minutes later. Are you saying Golb? Keeper Dungeon's best model ever, Mick? Let us know. And Larry, what link are you talking about? Larry said they did the same thing with the chaplain in the 40k starter that came around the same time, and he was a lot more limited. Yes, yeah. He needed Radagast. Yeah, that box sold out, and then you could only get it without the chaplain. The box was available without him for a long time. Carl Daly says, home. He's home. He's home from the car with his box of treats. Amazing. He's at
you
the
made
table
it, man. You made it.
Welcome. He's at the table and painting the armor on his Minister of Banner Bearer.
Good man.
I'm so happy to have saved him from the draw of despondency. He also says he had the stream on in the car so he could listen. That's so cool. Larry says, I took a 9 mite Boromir on foot as I didn't have a mounted one. It was a last minute list for White Rose before it became White Rose. Okay. 9 mite Boromir. Ronald Val says, what the hell is that Alfred rule supposed to simulate? It simulates a bit. It's called dubious counsel. He whispers in people's ears and they listen. And how that manifests is that they get weaker on, they're not as smart, which I get, and that makes a lot of sense. But then he takes it away from them, which just doesn't make any sense. And he gets them right. It was always wretched, and thankfully it got changed in the new edition. It's still essentially the same rule. It's just far less powerful. Larry Miller said, he's got the story of Boromir. This is 9 mite Boromir. Do you want to hear what happened to him?
Of course.
He spent 3 mite marching due to some bad deployment, then was transfixed on a 6 the first turn he made it to combat, rolled a 1 to resist, and spent 5 mite to resist.
No.
He then had to spend 1 to win the fight, and he died the next turn.
Jesus.
He spent 9 might to kill 3 wood elves. Worth it. Larry Miller says, isn't Goza the bad guy from the second one? No, that's Vigo. He says, no, he was the bad guy from the first. Zul was the gatekeeper, and he's using, if I recall correctly, we know what that one is. He's using the acronym. Vigo is Ghostbusters 2, says Dan. Absolutely, scariest film ever. Goza is the woman, aim for the flat top, but descends to Earth as Stay Puft. Zul is the gate master. Vince is the key master. God, I love those films. Gatekeeper. Larry Miller says, oh, he's talking about a link to the Patreon chat. Yeah, well, we added you in. I don't think we send people a link. We just add. It's not a link, mate. You're just in it. You're there.
We let you in, but we don't let you out.
Yeah. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Mick Baclar says, mate, best model ever. I said that when you were discussing the 9 mite Alfred. Oh, of course. Trust Mick to be looking at the competitive angle rather than the beauty of Golb. Danny Entwistle is working on some Moran and Orcs at the moment. Dude, Moran and Orcs now, you're
Old school.
like a year too late. We needed them in February. So they're fairly close to the keeper. He says, I've got a lot of painting to do at the moment between SPG, 40k and Marvel Crisis Protocol. Introduced my friend to Mumix tonight as well. Oh,
Nice.
awesome, man. It's good to see you, mate. It's good to have you in. I think it's Danny's first stream.
I think it's the first time I've been here.
You wouldn't believe it, Stephen Kraft. I've only gone and caught up.
Yeah, I was just seeing that. I was just looking, I had one eye on the clock. I was thinking that timing could not have been even better.
So here's my cunning plan. Why don't you go in and check in on the old Facebook page to see how we're doing on there? And what I will do is fill in the handwritten forms of our wonderfully generous new patrons and add them into the drawer of wonder. Sound good?
Yeah. So we got up to Josh Crosby, didn't we?
Let me check my note.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joshua Crosby's the last one I've got.
So Jack Hayes, he's not painting a keeper tonight. We're doing some Mahud, and he's having some bonbons. Strong, sweet choice. Tim Garlick says, kids are in bed, although not asleep. Time to get some pet in this fella. So Tim Garlick is on the keeper. Get him on that list. Yeah.
He brought up peer pressure in the chat, didn't he?
He did, yeah. James is finished carving. Looks cool, that, mate. Looks very, very cool. The Arkenstone throne design on the floor, it looks like it's pretty good. Dan's finished the armour. Let's have a look how you've done it. Yeah, it looks good, man. Yeah, Dan's a crazy person. He completes segments at a time.
I just don't. I'm not good enough to do that. I just don't trust myself. Like if I ever painted something like really, really perfectly, but then still have to do all the rough work around it, I just wouldn't rate myself to not completely gank it up.
And Carl is getting, excuse me, some metallics on the armour of his Minister of Bannerman. I like that Bannerman as well. That's a proper old school one.
That is awesome. That's why I picked him, mate.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very, very cool. So yeah, that is us up to date on the old Facebook.
Yeah. So was it just Tim Garlick being added into the draw? So there is still time. If there are any keeper painters out there, there is still time for you to get in on that. But our Patreon competition, which we're going to do now, is shut. So the vote's closing. And we've had 5 new patrons tonight, so thank you so much. And I'm going to scribble your names on here, add you into the pot of wonder. It will, of course, be doing live. Oh.
I'm looking at this second Galaxy Ripple that I was going to save for tomorrow. I'm thinking it might not make it through the night.
And it might melt overnight, mate.
Yeah, I better eat it.
Not worth the risk.
I better eat it. The thing is as well, because I literally only got home half an hour before we were streaming and I had to set the stream up, I ordered Domino's. I've got a full pizza in there minus one slice. I've had one slice of it. So I'm going to have another couple of slices before bed.
No, obviously. You got to have your post-stream meal.
So,
I don't know what I'll do tonight. I'm feeling quite fresh as a daisy.
No pot noodle?
Early days. I don't think we got one. Emma started putting one on the list as my post-stream snack. Like, what kind of high quality / enably wife is that? I should go, I'll put you one pot noodle for your post-stream snack. Well, I don't think this is a habit you should be endorsing. I don't even enjoy it. I don't know why. It's just like become my routine.
Have a pot noodle, then get in the shower in the fetal position and cry.
Just sob. Eat master. There's a line in Scrubs that JD says that I was just going to adapt. I was going to swap the word you can't say for the pot noodle, and I accidentally nearly didn't and nearly left in the word you can't say. I was going to say eat pot noodle, weep, repeat. Yeah, I might head downstairs and get myself a little snackaroo. So I think we should do, because people could potentially join the keeper competition late, we should do the Patreon one. So this is for the oldie keeper of the dungeons, the guy who inspired it all, the guy who was to be bold, the guy who was gold, and the guy who is now the keeper of the dungeons. Although the retired keeper of the dungeons, God bless him, because of course this is now our keeper of the dungeons going forwards. So I don't think we'll be seeing this guy again.
No.
Maybe in a made to order.
And it's a big maybe, isn't it?
I think as and when they return to the Hobbit, if they do anything in, well, he's Dol Guldur, isn't he? So if they Battle of Five Armies or something, if they do it then, I think you might get him. But yeah, I think otherwise he's gone. But we have this one crisp sculpt all ready to go for one of our patrons. So they're in the Pot of Destiny as well. And obviously there's a slight chance that I might see that 5 of them are handwritten. So I want to remove any sense of that. I'm going to place it at this uncheatable level.
Yeah.
Are we happy with that?
Yep.
I'm going to dunk in. And I think, Steve, why don't you direct me a bit and tell me where to go?
So go forwards.
Forward, yeah.
Go back.
Back, love it.
Forwards.
Forwards, yeah.
And back.
And back, yeah.
And then just twirl the end a little bit.
Of what? Right, okay, hang on. I'm twirling the end.
Yeah. And then pinch.
I'm not sure what this is achieving.
Pinch.
Yeah.
And pull.
Twirl the end. Got you. Yeah. Then pinch.
And pull.
I've got one. Are we happy?
Yep. Someone is. Ooh.
It's William/Bill Bolton.
William Bolton.
Bill Bolton, as I live and breathe.
Well done, man.
Slightly anticlimactic, but he is in the Facebook chat. We will get in touch. Bill Bolton is the proud winner of
Goal.
The Dungeons. Great. There we go. So we'll get in touch with Bill and get that out to him. So thank you to our patrons for supporting them. That's awesome. There you go. She's not in. It's always good to have him in.
Yeah.
The other day, it was
so
exciting,
nice.
but he's painting up his keeper now. We'll get in touch with Bill and get that over to him. Awesome news. So there we go with that. Can the patrons look forward to any other giveaways, Stephen?
Yes. Are we talking about the one I think you're talking about?
There's only one I know about.
Is it the one? Smell my horse one.
I mean, if you think you've clarified it with that, you're a million miles away. I mean, it's horse related. I don't know if that's what you're going for.
So is it the other new release we're talking about?
I think it might be.
Oh, right, okay.
You know what? We haven't touched on this. We should talk about this, right? We've gone on about Keeper. Very exciting. Is that the new stuff?
There is.
What have we got?
Only got a new plastic multi-part Aomer.
Aomer?
Like, Aomer, we've been stuck with the same dry pose for a million years. And now we've got a new one. And it's Fandabidozi.
Were you expecting a new Aomer?
A little bit.
Are you? I mean, that one blindsided me. And I think most of the community as well. New Aomer. He arrived. And he's arrived since the last stream, right?
Yep.
It wasn't announced. I think we streamed on a Friday and he was announced on a Sunday.
Correct.
I think.
Yeah, it was.
And then he went pre-order last week.
Yep.
So it worked. The Keeper stream worked because this, according to our schedule, we did 17 last week, which was Grishnak. This week should have been Aomer week.
Yeah.
If this was Aomer week, no one would have him.
Do you think that GW were watching the streams and thought
Obs.
they're going to be a week early, so we need to release
we
an
dreamed,
old
didn't
sculpt?
we joked about it, but it only went and happened. I suppose our only slight thing is, I think for it to be truly perfect, we would have wanted it 1 week later.
Yeah.
To have the full build party.
Mm.
But he's out, and he hasn't. Unlike the Forge stuff, he hasn't arrived. Right? I don't think anyone's got him.
Maybe not.
Is that a man who knows Element Games? It's very interesting. Yeah, well, I imagine shops have got him, but yeah. So he's not started arriving in people's hands, but because I don't know. The Forge stuff tends to come out a bit early. I don't know if the GW stuff does.
Mm.
He goes on sale tomorrow, doesn't he? Like, not pre-order.
Mm.
So I'm not sure if he'll start arriving tomorrow or if he'll start arriving Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
With people. But yeah, he's out. He's out. There he is. I think we'd had a pretty good look at him already, but are we happy?
I am. I'm very happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good
very
model?
Happy. Great model. Great model. Is right up my street. Right up my street. So many options. Helmed, unhelmed, spear, sword, shield. Armoured horse, unarmoured horse. You name it. You name it.
Do you know what you're doing yet?
It's all magnets in it.
Are you gonna do a lot?
Yeah, everything.
Oh, that's a renegade.
Mm.
Glue for me.
Yeah. The thing is, it's weird, isn't it? It's a weird OCD thing because are you ever going to bring him without being maxed out with everything?
Well, no,
I suppose it's the choice.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah, I suppose it's the choice of what you want him to look like, whether he's got a spear or
what
a sword.
what he's never been able to do before. He's never had the throwing spear pose, and that's the answer for that for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go like he's chucking at the mimic, which is helmet and chucking spear, and then on foot, I think he looks better with the sword and shield. So it's just whether or not I still maybe think helmet. Emma's got a cool helmet.
Yeah. I'm
not too impressed with the paint job on the face particularly. He does look like Thor. It's great. I saw that pose. He does look a bit like him. But as always with these things, I think the sculpt will be vastly better.
Yes.
So that might change my mind because I haven't painted an unhelmeted Emma before.
I spoke to somebody today.
So I've done that.
Who wasn't a fan of the released pictures and has had it in hand today and thinks it's the best sculpt plastic Lord of the Rings sculpt that's been released ever.
Wow. It's not a surprise, is it?
So that says a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, he's super cool.
Actually getting it in hand has changed the mind. Full 360, like, love it. So yeah. That's
mega cool.
Yeah.
So our next stream is AM a week.
Yeah.
I've agonisingly, because I'm a good boy, I've been doing my reading. So the issue is through this wall. The issue's in our bedroom. To help spice things up.
the next best thing to watching a battle stream in bed.
Well, Emma comes into us. She's like, I'm really, really tired. And she's like, is that AM a week? But yes, I'm doing reading and it's in there. So I normally have the next one to kind of go through. But yeah, it's awesome. Like if you told us, I think in January, the odds that the new AMA would be released literally the week before we'd want it to for the stream, it's just spectacular.
Yeah.
So obviously our next stream in 2 weeks' time will be AMA week. And I think our first idea when we thought it might be a week out was to have like a build party, and that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah,
I'm going to be building it on the stream. Yeah, do you reckon can you hang on?
Yeah, I'll be magnetising on the stream, I think.
Yeah, cool. So we'll be doing that. But obviously, if you can't hang on to them and you want to get him built, we will allow anyone painting him on the stream to be entered into
any crazy person.
Yeah, any lunatic who wants to get started on it. But I think there's going to be a lot of AMers. I think it'll be a popular week.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll allow old AMers. There are 4, I think. Old foot and
Yes,
mounted.
yes,
Knight of the Pelner and then Defenders Rohan.
Defenders,
I think we've got 4.
Tiny
Well,
AMA.
actually, I think he went back in the box. Defenders Rohan AMA was undercoated. He was like a very, very, very nearly being painted model.
Yeah.
He's gone back in the case, sadly, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. So build towards that, and I would love to show you what will be in the next issue, but I don't know because Emma's reading it. But we'll have a good tasty look at Emma and really explore the kit.
Dear, dear, dear. Who's giving him a Dr. Pepper? Oh dear.
That was the last. That was worse than the last.
We don't want to look at that.
We will be exploring.
Let's check it out.
The kit.
We're going to check it out together.
Yeah. That is good. I'll be hearing about that on the chat. Are we having a good look at the kit together and seeing all the various options and figuring out how we're going to build it? But that'd be super cool if we then get a lovely stream of different configurations about AMI and stuff. I think that'd be really, really super cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to check over into? Should we have a last look in the Facebook chat?
Yeah, we'll have a last look. It's
Facebook group,
5 to midnight, and unfortunately, I do have to shoot early tonight, so we'll have a quick. I say early. It's flipping midnight.
Arrivals.
There we go.
And garlic. I hadn't seen James's thing because I was doing the other. That phone looks awesome. Man. Very, very cool.
No, yeah, Carl Daly's is still the last one.
So we have Mr. Crow. We have 8. Do you have a dice?
Not an 8-sided, no.
Do you know what's really annoying? I saw my D20. I think it's on the floor.
Ooh.
I saw it on the floor earlier. I was like, "Oh, I'll need that later."
I'll pick that up at some point.
Make sure to pick that. Although I can't. I haven't got CCAM with me.
No. Shall I just pick? If you number them randomly, I'll pick a number.
All right, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell me when you're ready.
I am not. I repeat, not going in the order that they were posting.
Yeah.
I can do this when there's only 8. When that week when we had like 22, I was like, I'm not numbering them randomly. Oh god, there's 2 3s already, and there's 2 2s. Oh, it's because it's formatting as a bloody list.
Oh god.
Oh no, it's a disaster. I'll put like a 1 next to someone.
How many people? We've got 8 people. I mean, I think a pen would suffice.
I just need to put the number at the end. That's how I trick my phone. Take that, phone. You will not defeat me.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Dear. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, just perusing the chat. Yes, people are excited for AMA. Okay, so we're ready?
I have 1 to 8.
Okay.
In a random order.
I will pick 12.
This is, of course, for our dice.
Yes. This is the dice draw.
Yeah.
1 to 8. You've got a 1 in 8 chance, guys.
Good.
Odds are high. So I will go with. How many fingers I have up?
Number 2.
Yep.
It's Joshua Crosby.
Hey!
Joshua Crosby, congratulations, sir.
Congrats, man.
Future dice.
First winner of the dice.
First
winner.
I'll add you to the spreadsheet. Shall we go and jump in the chat?
Yeah.
See what the kiddies have been saying. I got up to link to the patron chat. Best model ever. Danny Entwistle. Larry Miller saying cheeky Pirates of the Caribbean reference there. I don't know which one that is. Yeah. And Danny says, tell me about it. God, he understands Larry. I don't. Larry wants a mini game of Pirates of the Caribbean. That'd be cool. And yeah, Danny says, yes, first live stream. Couldn't believe you were still going this late. That's what we do. That's what we do. And this is going to be an early one.
This is an early one, yeah.
Yeah, we normally go to about 12:30. Seems to be about the average. Ronald Val says, time to prepare the barbecue for dinner. That's madness. It's midnight.
Crazy person.
Crazy time difference. Good night, everyone. Joe Holzman, I complete segments at a time. Is that not normal? I think it might be normal. It's just not.
It's normal for if you're not normal.
Larry Miller, I base coat everything, then finish assembly, then wash, then highlight. Larry Miller says, I think Damian remembers seeing my 3 hunters at Throne of Skulls.
Ugh.
I don't remember. Did you beat me at Throne of Skulls with 3 hunters? Sorry, Larry, I might be being an arsehole here. I don't remember that. I don't get what you're talking about. No. I remember you beat me with the White Council, I think, and you beat me with Thorin at Titans once. I can't remember playing your 3 hunters. Maybe I did. Who knows? Julian Y2K saying congrats to Bill. And Paintbrush Pirate got the confirmation of AML being shipped from Darksphere tonight. I'm gonna have live check-in with my email. And can confirm that. I don't have anything from GW.
Oh, disappointment in his face.
I know. Larry Miller, I'll never take the armored horse since he never rides one in the movie. Good lad. And Larry Miller got his from Element this morning. So he's out there. He's out there. Paintbrush Pirate says he looks like Val Kilmer. I think that's...
Val Kilmer doesn't even look like Val Kilmer anymore.
I think he's talking about the paint job, which he does look like Val Kilmer, you're right, rather than the sculpt necessarily. Adam says Carl Urban was one of the few actors who actually looked good in their helmet. Then Larry Miller says, did he just say what I think he said? No, he didn't.
Oh, yes.
Felix YTK is laughing. Aaron Garner says, explore the what? Paintbrush Pirate says, what say, I don't know what he's talking about there. What's a something precious? Dylan Patel, I'm glad that it hasn't got over everyone's head. Well, then, interesting thing to explore together. Adam G thinks it's an anagrammed kilt. Larry Miller says almost as good as the old Auto and Black Sun of Legolas, which I think was in I think that was the Palantir when I combined Auto Shot with Auto Hit.
Yes.
Create the Auto of Legolas. Joshua Crosby says yay. I don't know if he's talking about.
He just got excited.
Daddy Whistle, the tell me about it was painting around us. Oh, I see. That's when he said tell me about it was because he was painting around us a year too late. Larry Miller, I was painting them on Friday. They were in a few sub-assemblies. He got the dispatch. Larry Miller got the dispatch from Element, not the model. And Carl Daly said, hoping to get AMA next week with all my birthday GW vouchers next Saturday. Hopefully might be back in stock by that point.
Yeah.
Stephen Crow, you wouldn't believe it. I'm up to date with the chat. It's
like timing. It's bang on midnight, which is perfect timing.
What we talked about.
Yeah.
How did you get on with your keeper?
Base colours. It's first time using one of these Radagast games. Paint handles, it spins at the top. Look.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've got one of the GW handles. That spins at the top as well, actually. Quite a cool little feature. That's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I've done most of the base colours. I spent a lot of the stream getting excited and chatting about gold and inappropriate parts of anatomy.
Yours looks very much like mine.
Well, they're a very similar sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
And I've also
happy with him.
Got the kind of base layer done on my base. That is now ready for a coat of Nolan wash, which I'm going to chuck over it tonight.
Is that Caliban green?
Yeah. This will probably be going in the bin after this.
Yeah.
Right? I'll be screwed next time. If we ever come back to the Hobbit on the stream, I'm trying to do some Forgotten Dungeon bases. You need to be yelling, "You've chucked it away! You've chucked it away.
You're not going to find it.
You haven't got it."
Well, but yeah, I think
there we go.
I think we'll call it. It's been it felt like a bit of a short and sweet one. tonight.
Yeah, well, it was 8:30, so it was slightly earlier start and then a slightly earlier finish.
Yeah.
But it's still 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's a chunk of it.
Yeah. I've not drank, but I've been extremely tired tonight. But I'm glad we did it. It was great. I got some painting done, which is always nice. It was just nice to catch up. Nice to catch
congratulations to Josh for winning the dice.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Bill for winning Cupid Dungeons.
Yeah.
And thank you so much to everyone who has supported us on Patreon. As a little sign-off thing, if you are interested, the link is in the description below. Go and check it out. Anything you can, if you can sign up at the lowest level, it really does help us out to make cooler and cooler stuff. Yeah. And also, please go and check out Battle Streams in Middle-earth YouTube channel.
Yes.
Subscribe to that, because that's where there's only a couple of videos on it, basically the introduction one and the first competition. But we want you to subscribe to that to get numbers up, because the stream will be going over there in a few streams time. We'll be there. So please, if you like this or you're a fan of GBHL, go over there and just click a subscribe on that, and then hopefully you'll start getting notifications when that goes.
And all of these will start going on there, and we'll start getting some other cool stuff on there as well. Just fun stuff. But like Damian said earlier in the stream, it's stuff that's associated with being sat at your desk, getting through your backlog. So it'll be stuff that you can listen along to, this kind of stuff, and then the video series that Damian mentioned before, where he's going to be looking into certain aspects of characters, or is it just a one-off?
It's the Azog thing's a one-off in that, but it's going to be anything that floats my boat. I've got an idea for the second one.
Well, yeah, I think we've all got an idea. You've said it out loud tonight, but
the second one. But there's not many characters who had that interesting a design history, so it's quite fun to look at the toys as well and see how they developed. Yeah. But yeah, the second one will be a bit different, but it'll still, the plan is there'll be things you could listen to that are hopefully quite entertaining. Yeah. The Pirates of the Caribbean reference that Larry mentioned was me. You was saying nice reference there, and I was like, what reference? It was when I said part of the crew, part of the ship. It was indeed a Pirates reference, but I forgot. Artist Opus says, evening lads, how are you still awake? Well, that is the question, and Steve is about
not for much longer.
So we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time, AM a week.
AM a week, and
that's exciting.
There might be a Patreon giveaway. I'm not saying it's going to be AMR, but it will be a plastic Rohan model
hero
on horse, who's a hero,
and he's also
has been released in the last month.
And there's multi options, and he's also on foot.
And is AMR.
Yes. Yeah. His name begins with E and ends in Ouma. So yes, but no, in all seriousness, thanks guys for joining us. We got here, it was a rush at the last minute down to me, but we got there and it's been a ton of fun. I've got some painting done, I've had some chocolate. Yeah, it's fun as always. Next,
might you consider painting on the stream again in future?
No, I'm going to get pissed next time.
Have a try on it.
Yes, I don't have to be up at 5:30 next time, so yeah, I'm not doing this 5:30 lark again day after a stream. But yes, thanks guys, thanks Damian, and
thank you Steve, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, never a chore, and we'll see you in the next one. And patrons, keep it up in the chat because it's a lot of fun in there, and we'll see you all soon.
Absolutely, take care guys, good night.
Take care.